ほら、ルフィ、今一緒に海賊になる仲間を探してるんだ。
It was early in the morning, like the sun hadn't even come out yet. Izuku was out in the dormitory private gym, working out on his arms and legs. He needed them to stay strong to use his quirk, while also helping his muscles heal. He looked at the clock and saw that it's time for him to get ready for school. After 20-ish minutes, he finally was ready to head to class. As he walks to class, he notices how he didn't see any of his classmates. That due to the fact that he is always the first one to be up very early, but some of them are capable of getting up at a reasonable time, yet there was no one. He arrived at the class door, but he felt something is off. Following his instincts, he slowly opened the door, then immediately got attacked, aiming for his head. He reacted in time and dodged the attack. Instinctively, he attacked back, throwing a punch hitting the attacker. They fell down to the floor in pain. He was about to strike again, but to his surprise, it was Kirishima that attacked him with his hardened quirk. Before he even got the chance to speak, the rest of the class surrounded him and started attacking him using their quirks. Zero tied up Izuku with his tape, so he doesn't escape or fight back, but Izuku grabbed the tape, then starts swinging Zero around using his strength. Denki electrocuted Izuku using 1,000,000 bolts. Izuku grit his teeth, holding in the pain. He let go Zero go, making him crash into Denki. Mina threw her acid in him. He luckily dodged before the acid hits him and damage his body, then punch her in her stomach. Kirishima rubbed his injured nose and grit his teeth. He kept trying to hit him with his quirk, but Izuku kept dodging. Then he grabbed Kirishima's arm and threw him to the ground onto his back. Momo made a blunt weapon, tried to attack him with it, but Izuku quickly disarmed her and swiped her legs, making her fall. The rest followed, tried to harm him, but none of them succeed. They all got their asses kicked. Izuku huffs, not breaking a sweat or getting tired from the constant attacks. He stares at his class, his comrades, his friends, in confusion. Why did they attack him? He thought it was like surprise training, but the way they attacked was serious, and the way they looked at him. He opened his mouth, trying to find the words he was feeling. Why did you guys do this? I thought we were friends, Izuku asked as his voice wavers and barely audible. He tried his best not to show vulnerability. Shut up, you traitor, you know what you did. Kirishima said in anger. He tried to punch Izuku in his face, but Izuku caught his hand. Yeah, we show the video of you. How could you have fooled us? Taking notes of our quirks, then giving them to the villains. Todoroki said in a low tone. He stared at Izuku with nothing but hate in his eyes. Izuku stared back at them with very much confusion. What are you saying? I didn't do that. I would never. You guys know me. Izuku tried to defend himself, but Todoroki hit Izuku with his fire quirk before he could react, cutting him off. Shut up, you damn liar. I trusted you. Todoroki said. He looked at Izuku with disgust. Izuku stumbled, and his nose bled a little. Didn't hurt much, but did sting. A villain like you should be punished for his crimes, Ida said, seeing Izuku in a vulnerable moment. He activated his quirk and aimed at his sides for a kick, but Izuku quickly got it together and grabbed Ida's leg. Using Ida's momentum, he spun around and threw him at the wall. Ida hit the wall with his back and head and groaned in pain. Izuku looks around and sees Uraraka and Bakugo together. She looks at Izuku with disgust and rolls her eyes. How dare you, Deku, showing your true colors and hurting us. I can't believe I was nice to a traitor of UA. I feel so disgusted. Uraraka said. Ida wrapped his arm around her. Don't worry, babe. I'll get rid of this nerd for you. He doesn't belong here anyway, Bakugo said, then kissed Uraraka's lips. Izuku's eyes widen as he watches as the girl he thought he could rely on not only sided with them, but also kissed the most arrogant asshole in the class. Why you jest? Izuku spoke quietly. He looked down and clenched his hand tightly. Bakugo smirked smugly at Izuku. What? Surprise I stole your girl? Well, sorry not to break it to you, Deku, but me and Uraraka have been secretly dating behind your back for months. You were too stupid to not realize sooner. He laughs mockingly. Uraraka laughs with him. Yeah. Sorry, but he's just way more fit for me than you. He's hotter, stronger, and more importantly, he's a whole lot richer than you. Uraraka sneered at Izuku. He stared at the two without saying a word. Izuku groans inside his head. Just thinking of her words gave him a headache. What are they talking about? I get I hang out with her, but that doesn't mean we're dating. I didn't even see her that way. Why did they think we were dating? I knew I had the right idea not to fully trust her. Bakugo laughs more at him for his silence. Don't you get it, Deku? She left you for me because I'm better than you. and I will always be. Bakugo and Uraraka both laugh at Izuku. And what couldn't have gotten worse, All Might appears. He walks up to Izuku. Young Midoriya, evidence has been found of you talking to the League of Villains and giving them what look to be your notes of students' quirks. He said. Izuku eyes widen in disbelief. Video of me giving my notes to? Izuku muttered. Izuku stared at them as his jaw dropped. They believed one and only single piece of evidence and just went straight to the punishment. Whatever happened to guilty till proven innocent? Izuku felt his bloodlust raising and did his best to keep it under wrap. Calm down. I can feel the bloodlust coming out. Izuku calmed down in his mind, and the bloodlust stopped. All Might walked up to Izuku and looked down on him with disappointment and disgust. I made a mistake making you my successor. Give me back my quirk. You're clearly not worthy. Izuku looked at them slowly as his eyes started growing cold, surprising everyone. Are you serious? You're just going to just assume straight away? Not even going to question or ask for my side of the story? Whatever takes your quirk back. I don't need it, Izuku said coldly, then plucked a piece of his hair, then gave it to All Might. All Might walks to Bakugo and gives it to him, who gladly eats it with a huge grin on his face. Izuku felt one for all disappear out of his body. Izuku felt his anger boiling up inside of him, but kept it together, not wanting to give them the satisfaction. All of his hard work gone in an instant. Even if it wasn't worth much, it's all gone because of one video. The pro hero looked at Izuku with no pity, then called out 2 police officers. They entered and grabbed both of his wrists and cuffed them with regular cuffs since he quirkless now. Izuku had to battle against his atoms and the voice to not beat All Might ass. As the #1 hero, I find you guilty. You are expelled from UA, and your hero licenses will be stripped away and destroyed. You will be taken to prison lock away for years as a punishment for your crimes, All Might said cold and firm. He said. Izuku's eyes narrowed. Being the #1 hero doesn't allow you to do that. Damn balloon up skeleton, Izuku thought. He felt his blood boil more, but kept it under control. Izuku notices. He also looks around and sees his ex-classmates snickering at him like he just didn't beat their asses moments ago. He bites his lip hard, making it bleed a little. He sighs heavily, calming down. The best he can. Alright, fine, I'll go, but all I can say to you all is you're more ignorant than I thought, he said without looking at his ex-classmates. They took offense and called him all sorts of names. The police officers left the classroom with Izuku walking down the hallway, but were about stopped by Aizawa and Nizu. Aizawa looked at Izuku, then at All Might. He grit his teeth a little, and his eyes narrowed. All Might, release problem child, now, Aizawa said firmly, surprising All Might and Class 1A. Izuku smiles at Aizawa. I knew I still have Mr. Aizawa, Izuku thought happily, seeing his dad. Aizawa, I was just about to put this traitor away behind bars. Why are you stopping me? All Might asked. Aizawa rubs his temples. Okay, 1. It's not the hero's job, but the police, and 2. You can't just arrest him over one video we don't know is real or not. Aizawa stares and looks around, seeing that All Might wasn't the only one that believes the video. Aizawa saw that the class was surrounding Izuku, and some of them looked a bit injured. He could tell Izuku put up a fight, but Aizawa, the video were very clear where we can see. All Might tried to explain himself, and his notebooks are really gone. We check ourselves, Jiro said. Izuku felt jolted at the information. Izuku stands there in shock, pondering all the information that's currently getting shouted out. Nizu can clearly see what's happening. Look at them, disappointed. All Might, we already discussed this. It's just one video. It doesn't prove anything is facts yet. You didn't even think clearly, like how they have 2 members that can change into anyone, or how his notebooks could have been stolen. Did you even question the location of where the video was taking place, or how it was even sent to us? Nizu looked straight into All Might eyes, already knowing damn well he did not, but wanted to hear it from him. All Might sweated. He stumbled on his words for a bit, struggling to give a reasonable explanation. Nizu shook his head. That what I thought. Just mindlessly believing something and taking action. Ida stood up, still feeling pain, and looked at Nizu. But that villain deceiver did to us after we confronted him, Ida said. Izuku stared at him in disbelief. It was self-defense. Hearing Izuku's words, Nizu turned to Ida. Tell me, did you confront him or attack him? Because those are 2 completely different things. Nizu asks in a calm but serious tone. Principal Nizu, sir, he attacked us when we were just… Momo tried to turn it around, but Nizu wasn't having it. I didn't ask that. I asked if you guys confronted him first or attacked him. Nizu asked again. This time his voice was demanding. Nobody answered, knowing they had no way to win. Aizawa's click his tongue, a little disappointing all of you. Kirishima grits his teeth. Mr. Aizawa, we're just punishing Midoriya for his crimes. Kirishima, said Aizawa, stared at Kirishima irritated. That doesn't give you the right, just attack Izuku. Aizawa roared in with violence in his tone. A shiver fell upon class spines. He never once called Izuku by his name, and it was the first for them to ever see their teacher show emotion. They knew he wasn't going to let their actions slide this time. Aizawa, he is a criminal. He needs to be punished and put away for his crimes. He's a villain. A traitor. All Might said. Aizawa glared daggers at him. Having only one piece of evidence doesn't automatically make him a villain, especially since he's not even getting a fair chance. Aizawa pointed out, because of all the chaos unfolding in the classroom. Some students left their classes to see what was happening. It was Minoma and Kendo coming to Class 1A classroom. They stood looking at them confused. Wait, what's going on? Why is Midoriya getting arrested? Kendo asked. That is none of your concern. All you need to know is that we're finally getting rid of the traitor, Nizu said. The officers kept walking with Izuku leaving the school. Nizu and All Might followed behind along with Class 1A. Minoma and Kendo looked at each other, sharing a look that they both know doesn't feel right. Tetsu overhears what's happening and follows them. Aizawa clicks his tongue, then remembers something. He pulls out his phone and starts calling someone, hoping that he still has some time. Izuku sits in a holding cell at the police station as he waits to be transported to prison. They bandaged him up a bit. Class 1A. All Might watched from the outside. Mr. All Might, please be reasonable. This isn't right. Kendo shouted out. Kirishima clicked his tongue. Why are you trying to protect that damn traitor? He's a villain that should be punished. Kirishima said. Tetsu looked at Kirishima with disappointment. He couldn't believe that Kirishima would be this naive and narrow-minded. He definitely no longer manly in his eyes. Tetsu shakes his head and says, how could you say that when there's barely any evidence besides a video to prove that? You're not being manly right now, you're being a prick. Kirishima took offense to Tetsu words. Hey, watch it extra. Only I can insult shitty hair, and that nerd Deku is a traitor, plain and simple. The video is as clear as day that it's him. He doesn't deserve to be a hero anymore, so shut the fuck up. Bakugo said smugly. Minoma sneer at Bakugo, not like he typically would. He sneer with disgust and hate. Of course someone like you would say that. A arrogant bastard who thinks highly of himself and thinks nobody but him can be a hero. Class 1A really must have some low standards to put someone like you in there, Minoma mocked. Bakugo grits his teeth and angrily yells at Minoma, what the hell did you say, you damn extra? I'll shove that smirk so far up your ass. Everyone in Class 1A holds him back from attacking. All Might huffs, getting tired of everything. Enough. The decision has been made that Izuku will be imprisoned, and that's final. And I want you three out of here as you're causing a disturbance, All Might said firmly. Nizu enters with a frown on his face. Minoma, Kendo, and Tetsu hurriedly run up to him. Principal Nizu, did you talk to Chief Officer Dog? Is he going to let Midoriya out? Kendo asked, hoping he says yes. Nizu shakes his head. I'm sorry. Chief Officer Dog is currently out, so the man in his place for the moment wouldn't budge and only followed All Might order. I'm afraid Mr. Midoriya will be unjustly sent to prison, Nizu said, saddened. The three faces dropped at the news. They walk away, not wanting Class Jerk A be glad by their despair. Class 1A smiled greatly, especially Bakugo with a huge grin on his face. Good riddance, and bye-bye Deku. When all hope looks to be lost, a mysterious man walk up to a officer that's guarding Izuku's cell. Oi, let him out of the cell, or else, he said in a firm tone, surprising everyone. Izuku recognizes the voice and looks up. He only sees part of the man's hair, but smiles seeing it, while everyone looks at the mystery man, confused, wondering why he wants to let Izuku out. The police officer shakes his head. Sorry, sir, I can't do that. The man clicks his tongue, getting impatient. He grabbed the officer's collar and pulled him close. What did I stutter? Release the boy or face consequences. He growled a little. Ida looked at the man. He frowned in disgust. Sir, release that officer at once. He is just doing his job of guarding that villain. Ida said, but the man ignored his words. Dinky put his hand on the man's shoulder. Hey, my friend said to stop the man. Let go of the officer. Instead of facing Dinky, he pulled out a badge and held it in front of him so they could see. Nizu's face drops as he recognizes the badge and the symbol on it. I suggest you let go before you'll be discharged in the hospital, the man said in a serious, threatening tone. Denki shivers a bit, feeling an intense aura around him and a feeling that he means his words. He quickly lets go and steps back. The man scoffed in annoyance. Damn nuisances. Ida grit his teeth and did his hand chops. You villain. How dare you act like that to us heroes? Have you no manners? Tinya yelled. Mr. Ida, enough, or else you'll get a punishment that even the heroes can't stop. Nizu yells out in a panic, quickly stopping the idiot. But that man is being disrespectful to us and the students. Nizu. He needs to learn a lesson. All Might said, then cracked his knuckles. Don't worry, I'll take care of him fast. All Might smirked. Don't. That man isn't in the wrong, Nizu said. All Might looked confused. The man showed the police officer his shining dark metallic badge. Let Izuku Midoriya go now or face my wrath. The man ordered, no longer having any patience. His tone was cold and serious, intimidating the police officer. Bakugo grits his teeth as his eyes narrowed. I knew it. This is all that damn Deku doing. He planned for this to happen, that fucking villain. He gets ready to attack with his quirk the man until the man sighs heavily. I don't prefer you call him names without any proof unless you want multiple broken bones. I know you can take things to a low level, but I didn't think that you be this low, Bakugo, or shall I call you by your old name, cat? Bakugo was about to yell back until that nickname clicked in his brain. He hadn't heard that name in a long time. He deactivated his quirk, lowering his arms as he started to realize who that is. Finally remember, good. I thought I had to beat it in you before I fully introduced myself. He finally turned around, showing his face. Everyone's jaw drops in disbelief. They couldn't believe what they saw. He looked exactly like Izuku, but his hair is darker and a lot taller. The vibe around him is cold and intimidating, unlike Izuku. He glares cold at the class. His gaze feels like he's piercing through them like a knife. He clicked his tongue. As you can see, I have authority to release him. I am not a very patient man, so release him, or I'll release you from your job, he ordered. The police officer shivers in fear. He unlocked the cell and uncuffed Izuku. Izuku walked out of the holding cell. The two was about to leave. Momo walks up to them. Wait, hold on a minute. I know you have some sort of authority, but I'm afraid that you can't release him. He is arrested for working with the Momo gets interrupted, huh? I don't remember stuttering my words. Now did I? His eyes sharply glare at Momo. My authority is above you and your pathetic fellow heroes. If you want to make a complaint, then put it up with my boss. He noticed Nizu, then toss a card at Nizu's feet before he and Izuku walk away, leaving everyone dumbfounded and offended at his words. They exit the cell area where they see Monoma, Kendo, Tetsu, and Shinso waiting outside. Shinso saw Izuku and quickly ran up to him. Midoriya, you're okay. He hugged Izuku, then quickly lets him go, blushing a bit. Sorry. Got too caught up. Shinso rubbed his arm. Izuku smiled. It's no problem. I'm actually glad I still have someone by side. He looked at the three. I'm really surprised that you guys came to my aid too. Kendo nervously smiled. Well, we heard you screaming, then saw you getting dragged by the police. What they said about you wasn't right. Monoma looks away, trying to not seem like he cares. Yeah. Even though I hate Class 1A, I don't actually dislike like you. And how they treated you wasn't right. If I want to surpass you, then I want to do it my own way, not by that cheap trick like this. Tetsu nods. Yeah. It wasn't fair how they accuse you just by one video. I can't believe they actually act like that. Even Kirishima, he wasn't mainly at all. Tetsu shake his head in disappointment. Thanks for coming here. But how did you get here, Shinso? Izuku asks. That copy of you drove me here after he arrived at school. Shinso pointed at the man next to Izuku. Monoma, Kendo, and Tetsu look at the man and their jaws drop. He really does look like Izuku, but hotter. Monoma mutters and blush a bit. Izuku, who is this guy? Is he your? Kendo asks slowly. Izuku nods. Oh yeah. Sorry, I forgot to tell you guys. This is my big bro, Izuru Midoriya. Izuku said casually while the four jaws dropped in shock. What? Since when the hell did you have a brother? Monoma asks. Dumbfounded Kendo chopped his head. Don't say it like that. Izuru with a deadpan face pull up his gloves. Whatever, it's fine. My job is in a different country, and it's better for lil brother to not mention me for safety, he said monotone. He stares blankly at them. The four look at the Midoriya brothers standing side by side, seeing how Izuku have a shiny, glowing, warm feeling around him, while Izuru have a cold, dangerous, the intimidating aura surrounding him matching his towering figure. Coming close to him makes the air feel tense and feel like one wrong move, and you'll be dead in a second. The two are the literal definition of sun and moon, with the moon being more dangerous than the sun. Izuku nervously smiles seeing their reactions. He knows through plenty of how his brother behavior can throw people off if they met Izuku or not that just the way how he is, but I swear he's more than what you're thinking, Izuku said, hoping they don't get the wrong idea. Monoma looks seeing how quiet and deadpan Izuru is. He leaned in close to Shinso and Tetsu. I don't know if it was just me, I could have sworn I heard him act like a different person back there, Monoma mutters. Shinso and Tetsu nodded in agreement. Izuru grunts in boredom. This place is giving me a headache. Let's drop you guys off back to the school. I'll drive you, everyone agreed, and walked to the door. Meanwhile, back the jackasses while the others were talking. Mina grunts in frustration. What the hell was that about? He not only walked in here and saved that disgusting traitor, but he also insulted us. Mina huffs and crosses her arms. Not only that, but why does he look like Deku? Zero asks. Bakugo rolls his eyes at their stupidity. You idiots haven't figured it out? He's Izuku's older brother, Izuru Midoriya, you dumbass. Bakugo yelled at them, but his voice wavered a bit. Everyone's eyes widened in shock at the news. Izuku has a mysterious older brother that nobody heard of except for Bakugo? What? He has a brother, but how come we never heard of him or seen him? Denki asks as his brain explodes from the information. Bakugo sighs. He had a reputation back when he was younger, but I don't remember what it was about as it stopped in a few years. I remember before he disappeared that he went overseas for his job and never saw him again. Bakugo said, wait, so this entire time, he had a secret older bro that so happened to be overseas? Denki said. All Might grits his teeth. Think of it all, so he's that traitor's older brother, huh? Seems like the apple doesn't fall far from the tree as he lacks respect, as well. All Might scoff in an arrogant way. While he never really liked heroes when he was younger, guess that's still in effect, Bakugo said a little below his regular voice, which wasn't like him at all. He crossed his arms, but I know for sure that he joined either the army or government as a way to still help people while not being a hero or police officer. Nizu rubbed his chin as he remembered the badge Izuru shown. Earlier, that badge of his. It looks like he served in some sort of army for the government, but I don't recognize what kind of military symbol, Nizu said as he tries to think of where the badge comes from. He looks down seeing the card, then picks it up. Momo scoff and cross her arms. I bet he just service in a lowly position from just how he acts, she said arrogantly. His quirk is that he can control technology, but it's not that impressive, Bakugo said. Uraraka laughs, and he's acting almighty, showing off that badge of his with that type of quirk. I bet he's just an arrogant loser version of Deku, she said in a smug voice. Kirishima smashed his hands together. He doesn't even look that strong as well. A weak quirk loser that acts like he's above us. I'll teach that arrogant Deku copy lesson. He'll never forget. Everyone agrees with him and laughs, thinking that they easily overcome him, while Bakugo stayed quiet, sweating a bit. No, you're all wrong. He's not an arrogant version of Deku. He's a quiet version of monstrous beast that should never be angered or messed with, especially if it involves his brother, Bakugo thought, as fear takes over his body and memories. A loud car sound can be heard outside the police station. Everyone went outside to see what kind of car is making that type of sound. Once outdoors, they saw Izuku with his brother and better friends standing around a car that was far superior in every way from other cars. It looked like it came from the future where technology has reached its peak. All smooth and shiny, you can see your reflection clearly, and anything on it can slide right off. It puts every car in existence to shame for its superior design. Izuku unlocked the doors and opened the passenger door. After you, baby brother, he said in a soft voice. Izuku smiled. Thanks, Izuken. He entered the passenger seat. Monoma, Kendo, Shinso, and Tetsu entered in the back seat. Izuru looked back behind him, seeing the jackasses and huffs. I'll be taking them back to the school, and quit staring at my car, he said with clear annoyance, then entered the car through the driver's side. Wait, Mr. Older Midoriya, may I please come with you? I prefer not to be with ignorant people, Nizu called out. Izuru tilted his head. What did the rat say? Izuku tugged his brother's sleeve. Let him come. He actually uses his brain and tried to save me from them, Izuku said. Izuru see that Izuku is telling the truth. He nods. All right. The rat can come get in the back. The door automatically opens. Nizu quickly ran with his tiny legs and jumped in the car. Thank goodness, otherwise I'll be stuck with them. Gross. The car turns on. It roars like a beast they have never heard of before. The wheel and lights turn on, then drives off so fast you thought there was an after image of it. Everyone's eyes widened so wide it almost fell out. What in the hell was that? Denki asks in awe and confusion, how is it that someone like him could have such a next-level car when he's just a brother to Deku? Ida asks with his hand gesture. Bakugo gulps a little. I know. His quirk is related to technology, but I didn't expect him to turn a car into something so advanced. Momo covers her mouth. It's not only advanced, but it also looks very expensive. I don't think that even my family can afford that type of car, Momo said in a state of shock from the car, or the fact that for the first time in her life, she can't afford something. Uraraka eyes light up. Expensive and out of reach from Momo money. He may be that useless Deku brother, but if he's that rich, I'll let it slide, then make him mine. Uraraka eyes look in greed as she thinks of a plan to hoe another man. All Might eyes narrowed angrily. He clenches hands tightly. A lowly government worker acts arrogantly in front of me and has this type of car? Might want to check out what military he's from then. Better to get rid of a potential threat than let it be free till it's too late, he thought. Nobody would have guessed what the threat and strength Izuru just from him and his job possesses, while not knowing how their stupid betrayal causes a chain of events in the far future that will bite them in the butt later. From once the cinnamon roll they used to know all, because they didn't think of using their brains, instead go with their two-face masks. The car in heightened speed arrived back at UA in a few minutes. Tetsu looked around through the window in a clear state of shock and awe at how they arrived at the school in a matter of minutes. And they were pretty far away from the school. This car is an amazing older Midori bro. Where do you get this thing? Tetsu asked excitedly. Izuru shrugs. I made it with my quirk along with a hunk of scrap. No biggie, he said nonchalantly. Everyone, even Izuku, jaws dropped, couldn't believe that a quirk is capable of doing such wonders. No way. You actually made this yourself with your quirk? Kendo asked, still in wonder and surprise. Izuru just nodded. Monoma clenches his chest. Ugh. Curse you, Midoriya. Even your family outclassed me, and it's completely fair, he said dramatically. Kendo smacks his head with her normal-size hand. Nizu smiles, astonishing. Mr. Midoriya, your technology quirk goes beyond our everyday items. Nizu praises him. Izuku smiles brightly at his older brother. Your quirk has improved so much over the years, Izuku. I can't wait to see more of it. Izuru felt his chest get pierced by his words. He could die right now, full of happiness that Izuku praised his quirk. He looks away to hide his reddened face. No problem. Now you kids go off back to school. I'll take care of everything. Izuku and the others left the car and walked back to the school. They stumbled a little bit as their bodies couldn't keep up with the speed. Izuru looked through the mirror, seeing Nizu is still in the car. Mr. Midoriya, I know you're upset about what happened, but please let me explain what happened. Let's talk inside your office, Mr. Nizu. It's more professional, Izuru said, calmly stopping next to words. He stepped out of his car with Nizu following. I would like to add another party to our talk. I want to face the man that saved my baby brother. Izuru smiles a little, then enters the building with Nizu. Sometime later, Aizawa entered Nizu's office. He entered, seeing Nizu sitting at his desk. Next to him is Izuru that blankly stared at the tired man. Aizawa taken aback by his appearance, as he looks exactly like Izuku, but taller and colder. Nizu looked at him with his regular smile. Mr. Aizawa, please do come and have a seat. We have a special guest with us today. Aizawa took a seat and looked at Izuru. Mr. Aizawa, this is Mr. Midoriya's older brother. Izuru. Midoriya introduced Nizu. Aizawa raised his eyes a little, being surprised. His brother? So it was him that was on the phone. I never would have guessed that problem child had an older brother, Aizawa thought. Izuru stared at Aizawa, analyzing him. Erase her head. My brother's teacher and savior. His voice matches the one on the phone, so he's the one that called me. At first glance, he looked like he doesn't give a damn for his students, but after hearing him calling me, he cares deeply for my brother. He just puts on a tough act, Izuru thought, for a moment, finally concluding his decision on Aizawa. He bowed his head. Thank you for letting me know of the situation. If it wasn't for you, my precious Zuzu would be in trouble, he said with gratitude. Aizawa, flustered by his gesture, turn away. Don't mention it, please. I was just doing my job of protecting him like I should be, he said, monotone, but is secretly fluttered. Izuru stares at him for a moment. Though I do appreciate you called me. I want to know how you got my personal phone number in the first place. Only my family should have my personal number. He glared a little with suspicion. Aizawa shuddered a bit, feeling his suspicious glare. Your mother gave it to me, saying call you if there was ever a situation. Izuku can't get out of, Aizawa said, then pull out a thin piece of paper. Izuru look at the paper. That's mother handwriting. Must have gotten worried as being a hero is a special job. To think she gave him a dangerous tool knowing I told her not to means this guy is more trustworthy than I thought. To get straight to the point, I'm drawing Izuku from this school due to insufficient protection and safety, Izuru firmly and bluntly states. Aizawa was so taken aback he stood up from his chair. What? You're taking him out of the school? Izuru nods, keeping his eyes on Aizawa. Yes, though I appreciate you stopping those ignorant trainees and that hero, my brother was still treated unjustly and got hurt in the process. Izuru said. It's clear that he's standing by his words on taking Izuku out of UA. Mr. Aizawa, this is for the best. Even though he's not in jail, he'll still get harassed by Class 1A for still being suspected as a traitor and with All Might taking his quirk back. Mr. Midoriya won't be safe here anymore, Nizu said. Serious, it doesn't take even with his high IQ to know that if Izuku takes attending UA with his classmates, they'll just make his school days hell, and he's now back to being quirkless. His school days will be hell. Aizawa sighs and nods, signaling that he agrees with their statements. You're right. It'll be better for him to not attend anymore. Izuru notices Aizawa's expression, though that doesn't mean I'll stop him from achieving his dream. His tone shifts a bit. Aizawa raises his eyebrow. Still achieve his dreams? What do you mean? Izuku is inside of his dorm looking around for any of his notebooks, seeing if they're in the place he left them in, or maybe he just misplaced them, but unfortunately for him, they're really gone. My notebooks? They're actually really gone. The actual traitor is out there and is trying to frame me. He then scratches his head in frustration. His phone rings with a text message. Zuzu, come to your principal office, right? It was from Izuru. The principal office? I wonder why Izuku is at Principal Nizu's office anyway. Izuku asked to himself. A thought popped up in his head. Then he immediately leaves his dorm in a hurry. If Izuku is at Principal Nizu's office, then that means he's probably throwing a big fit. Please hang in there, Principal Nizu. Izuku thought as he ran as fast as he could. 15 minutes later, Izuku arrived at Nizu's office where he saw his brother and Aizawa together. Izuku sweated a bit. What is this all about? My brother didn't try any harm, did he? Izuku asks worriedly. Nizu shakes his head. No, there was no harm. Instead, you're here for something different, Nizu said. Izuku raised his eyebrow. Problem child. Due to that idiot rash decision, he stripped you away from your quirk and hero license, meaning you can't continue being a hero, Aizawa said. Which is why I'm taking you out of UA, due to safety reasons, Izuru firmly stated. Izuku clenches hands a little in frustration. All my hard work and what I had to endure for months gone in a day because of rash decisions and incontinence. Gripping his hands so tight his knuckles were turning white. Izuru notices Izuku's frustration, but that doesn't mean you still can't help people, little brother. Izuru's tone changes into a warmer voice. Izuku looked at his brother confused. What do you mean, Iskin? Izuru smiled a little. I know how much you want to help people, so I'm taking you back to America with me where you'll join my military unit. You wouldn't have to start from scratch by becoming a hero, and you'll learn actual combat and defense techniques. My equipment will catch you up to where you were before. Izuku's eyes lit up a bit in a glimmer of hope. A fresh start right in front of him. A chance where he wouldn't fully give up his dream, but start anew with a different front. His hard work wouldn't go down the drain after all. You mean it? I wouldn't have to give up on my dream, and I'll get to learn new combat skills. He asks excitedly and smiles brightly at the idea. Izuru nods yes. I have a program at my unit for teenagers to get early military training before they officially join. You'll succeed more than you ever did here, Izuru said with a smile. It seems he really wants Izuku out of this school as soon as possible. I think it's a great way for you to succeed in Mr. Midoriya. With your brother's help, your records are already transferred out of our school computers. Mr. Aizawa, and I won't tell anyone where you are for your brother request, Nizu said. Izuku smiles brightly. Everything is picking right back up for him. This is an opportunity he can't miss out on. No matter what the hardships are, though, can't be bad from what he faced before. All right, I'll go with you, Iskin. I promise to try my hardest and become a great asset to the unit. Izuku said, then he quickly took off to gather his things. Izuru chuckled a bit seeing Izuku excited, then went back to being deadpan. Went well as expected. Now if anyone asks, I'm just a soldier in the military. The card I handed you will give you some information about my unit. I don't want anyone to know the specific details of Izuku and my unit. Especially not those assholes and that jackass, he said in calm annoyance, though it was more like a low, annoyed threat. He left the office to catch up with Izuku. Aizawa sighs tiredly, still can't believe those two are related. I hope Problem Child will survive in the military. Nizu chuckled. He'll be fine. His brother isn't in an ordinary military unit due to the badge that of his though. Nizu paused, looking at the card that is laying on his desk. The unit he is a part of is an entire mystery of its own. The future will have an abrupt change now, though. That's the fun of it. Nizu takes a sip of his tea. I wonder what kind of person Mr. Midoriya will turn into. And I want to know exactly what kind of person his brother is. His existence out of nowhere is such a wonder to find out. Shouldn't Problem Child's brother be on his records? Aizawa asked. That would be the case, yes, but strangely his existence is nowhere to be seen. No records of him on Mr. Midoriya files or on any files of his own. I can't even see what his quirk is because it's government sealed, Nizu said in a serious tone. Aizawa was taken aback by this. What? Government seal? Is he's working with the military? That means, yes, it means he's some sort of useful weapon the government wants to keep hidden from the world. Nizu's eyes narrow slightly. I wonder how could such a being exist hidden away, could exist among us. Looks like things are heating up now. What will the future hold for Izuku? What's the unit Izuru is a part of? What military branch is he a part of that gives him a lot of power? And what kind of person is he if his information is sealed away by the government? Tune in next time to discover all of these mysteries. Izuku was in his dorm packing up his things. He sold all of his All Might merch, giving him a lot of money. He would have burned them, but it would mean that he would lose all of the money he spent on them, so might as well get double or triple income he paid for those tacky things. But he did burn all pictures of Bako. Cough cough, sorry, Bakugu. He ever had, and shredded pictures of his ex-classmates. Class 1A should be back at school right now, which means he shouldn't have any trouble back at the dorms. Thankfully, he packed up his suitcase, grabbed his things, then he left the dorms. I need to get my hero costume and items from my locker. The class and him should at least already be at school. Hero training shouldn't be in another hour, so I have the freedom to go grab my things, he thought happily. Izuku entered the school and went to the locker room where he grabbed his hero suit and all of his support items. I may not have Ofa anymore, but I know Izuku will give me some sweet items. I wonder if he could give these things a good upgrade, he thought. Then he stored his stuff and left. He walks down the hallway. When he walks past the support tech class, where he sees Mei Hatsum in the shop working on probably a new machine of hers. Since he won't see her again, he thought he might have a good last interaction with her. He enters the shop. Hey Hatsum, are you busy? Hatsum stopped what she was doing and turned to Izuku. Midoriya. Great to see you. Are you here for some of my babies to help you out? I've been working on some. I'll get to it after I'm done. Hatsum stopped in her tracks when she saw Izuku wearing regular clothes with his suitcase and packed hero gear. She raised her eyebrow. Are you going somewhere? Why do you have a suitcase and your gear packed up? Izuku smiles slightly, knowing that his news of leaving will hurt her. Well, I'm leaving UA. Due to personal circumstances, I can't attend here anymore, so I'm leaving with my big brother. Hatsum's eyes widen, bewildered at his news. She grabs his shoulders and shakes him. What do you mean you're leaving? What are the personal circumstances? And did you say big brother? Izuku nervously chuckled, seeing he was kinda right about her reaction. First, yes, I have a big brother, and second, I'll tell you if you promise not to be mad. Hatsum nods her head. Yeah, I promise to not be mad, and I want to hear more of your brother. She wanted answers now, but how will she handle his betrayal? Izuku took a deep breath, then start telling Hatsum the beginning. The attack and betrayal of his classmates and All Might. How he was almost sent to jail, then his brother came to rescue him. And how because of what happened he's leaving with his brother to have a better chance there than at UA. Hatsum was on a roller coaster of emotions. She didn't know what to feel till one emotion, one anger. What? They just attack you over one flimsy piece of evidence and never had the nerve to ask for your side of the story. I cannot believe how they pull a 180 on you. I can't believe Tenya would do such a thing. I knew he was kind of a dummy, but I didn't think he would be a full dumbass. Hatsum said, exploding with anger. Izuku tries to calm her down, but is failing hard. Want me to sick my babies on them? I've been looking for new test subjects anyway, she said with a mischievous gleam in her eyes. Izuku quickly shook his head, though he would like for his fake classmates to get some justice to them. No, it's fine really. My brother is in the military, and it has a program for teens, which means my efforts won't go into flames for nothing. This is a blessing in disguise. Hatsum. Izuku hoped his words calm her down. Look like it worked, as Hatsum calmed at his words. Okay, good. I'm glad everything worked out for you in the end, but I'm still mad that you weren't treated fairly after all you did for them, she huffed, and placed her hands on her hips. And about your brother, by the way, working in the military? He must be in a special unit or in a high position to have that kind of authority, even over the #1 hero. Hatsume's eyes narrowed, slightly mentioning All Might. She can't look at him the same now for what he had done. Izuku nods. Yeah, he's in I think a first-class military unit, though I know you'll get along with him great since he's also very interested in technology. In face, his quirk is related to technology. You'll love his inventions like his car outside. He smiles at the thought of his brother's past inventions. Hatsume rubs her chin and smiles. His quirk is related to technology, and he's interested in it too? I think I like him already. And what about his car? She asked. Izuku pointed to the window in the shop, the car that obviously stands out from the others. Hatsume walked up to the window and stared outside, trying to find the car. It didn't take long, and once she saw it, her jaw dropped. Seeing the car from the future with its slick design and smooth texture, she almost drooled at the sight. She grabbed his collar and pulled him close. Midoriya, am I in heaven, or is that car outside really there? Her eyes were sparkling so bright it could blind you. Izuku meekly smiled. My brother's car. He made it with just his quirk. Isn't that cool? Izuku was cut off by his caught-off scream when Hatsume dragged him out of the shop at great speed. I must meet your brother now. Her voice roared with desire and excitement. It was fueling her speed. 10 minutes later, they arrived outside. Hatsume was goking over the car, feeling it, and seeing it fully with her quirk, checking out its design and functionality. Every second made her feel and love more. Midoriya, this design and engineering compared to what I ever made, they're nothing to this masterpiece. Your brother is a genius. I must meet him and get his secrets. I must learn of his quirk. Hatsume's voice was clear with her curiosity and excitement. Izuku was about to speak, but a voice beat him to it. Well, if you want to know, then you have to join my baby brother and the others. Izuku turned around to see Izuru walking up to him with Monoma, Kendo, Tetsu, and Shinso. Izuku, there you are, but guys, why are you here? He notices that they're carrying their hero gear and suitcase, and why do you guys have all of your stuff packed up? He raised his eyebrow, wondering. Kendo smiles at him. Because we're coming with you. Your brother came to us and asked if we could come along to learn new skills and get better experiences since we've been lacking some. Tetsu nods, smiling wide. Yeah. He said he saw our potential, so he'll help us grow to become better than we learn at UA. His voice wavered in excitement. Besides, it's better as I get the chance to finally learn some combat skills from someone other than Mr. Ezerhead, and I get to be with you, Shinso said with a tiny smile. Monoma looked away and huff. I only agree, as that means I get the chance to achieve higher than Class 1A, and you too. Don't think of this as something else, alright? Monoma said, avoiding Izuku. His face was a little red. Izuku smiles, seeing how he's not alone after all, and will make some new friends on his new path. Thanks you guys for coming along. Hatsume stares at Izuru, noticing how he looks exactly like Izuku, but everything about him just screams he's different from Izuku and dangerous. But seeing how he's the one that created this out-of-this-world car, she immediately took his hand and shook it. Mr. Midoriya, sir, I am Mei Hatsume, a genius inventor, and I would love to say that I was taken away by your baby and would like to know how you created it. She rambled a little fast, but Izuru understood. I made it with my quirk and at my lab back overseas. I have been looking into you actually, and I would like for you to join my branch. The base, lab, and everything is everything you could dream of with the type of technology we have. You'll be able to create and upgrade as many inventions as your heart desires. So would you join? Izuru said. Hatsume's eyes sparkle, so bright you thought you stared at the sun. Yes. Yes. 1,000 times yes. Her voice rang with happiness. She immediately left to grab her things. Izuru watched while looking at Izuku and the others. My luck came out good on me. I scored some talent promises for the unit, and they'll make good comrades for my baby brother. It'll be a waste for them to be stuck in this tedious school where they won't grow unless it's from child endangerment. They'll reach better than students and heroes once they arrive at the base. Izuru thought. He seemed to be focused on getting them and teaching them to their fullest, while providing Izuku what he needed for him to survive. 20 minutes later, Hatsume came back with all of her stuff and a little extra. Okay, I'm ready. Let's go? Let's go? She said with excitement. You packed too much. His car won't have any room for all of our stuff now. Monoma said. Izuru pulled out his car keys. That won't be a problem. My car won't have room, but my truck will. He pressed a button on his keys. His car started to transform into a truck big enough for all of them and their stuff. Everyone's jaws dropped at the transformed truck while Hatsume was about to pass out from all of the excitement she was getting. They got into the car. The truck was impressed by how big the inside got as well. Izuru started the truck, which started like a lion waiting to feast. The noise was so loud that it gathered all the students and staff attention, especially Jerk 1A and But Might. They gather around the window in shock and secretly in awe at the sight. I'm so jealous. Though Deku is a traitor, he has such a cool brother. I want a brother that has high-tech cars, Denki said. Don't give them any praises. Deku is a filthy traitor, and his brother is no better as he disrespects us heroes with such disdain it's sickening, Ida said, doing his hand chops. Uraraka bites her thumb in awe and greed. Man, that worthless Deku was hiding such an eye-catcher of a brother. If I had stayed a little longer with him, I would have gotten his brother instead of Bakugo. No, my chances of riches are at stake, she thought. Elsewhere, All Might stared at the window, and gritting his teeth and clench his hands. How dare that worthless Quirkless use his brother to show off and disrespect me? I don't care if he's in the military. Nobody is above the #1 hero. I'll teach you a lesson once again when I see you in class, Quirkless, All Might thought. Then he walked away. The truck drove off the school site in a bright blue blur that when everyone blinked it was gone. Aizawa, sitting in Nizu's office, groans. Those two are brothers. Know how to catch attention in the wrong way as possible, he said, then sipped his office. Nizu chuckles. I agree. Looks like the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Only difference is their personalities, Nizu said. Aizawa sighs as Izuku and Izuru are as night and day, literally with their opposite personalities. No kidding. I told Eri the news. She handled it better than anticipated. I only had to comfort her for 10 minutes. Nizu smiled. Well, that's good to hear. I know it'll be hard for a girl like her, but she'll see him again someday, he said, then his face turned serious. I've been looking up the card that Mr. Midoriya gave to me, and I found something quite interesting about him. Aizawa raised his eyebrow, staring at Nizu. Meanwhile, Izuru pressed a button in the truck that tightened the kids' seatbelts, and with his own "everyone hang up," he pressed more buttons, then lifted the steering wheel. The truck started shaking so hard it felt like it was off the ground. Wait a minute, it is off the ground. The truck was starting to fly as it lifted off the ground with its wheels turning on its sides. They started to release some type of energy that made the truck start to float. The kids looked around, confused that they're flying, amazed that they're flying, curious, wondering how they're flying. He pressed a button that made the flying truck go into super speed. In just 15 minutes, they're no longer in the air of Japan, but instead are in American air. The kids stared out the windows in shock and amazement that they traveled so fast. Now there is something you kids should know now that you're going to be a part of my military branch, Izuru said seriously. They turned to him, and Izuku tilted his head. What should we know about Izuku? He asked. I never really told you since it's secretive, but now it's fine. The military service I am a part of is called NET, Izuru said. The kids look at him a little confused. Aizawa spits out his coffee, coughing a bit. What do you mean he's a part of NET? Are you sure he's a part of that group? I hear that the level of difficulty to join is hell. Aizawa said, shocked. Nizu stared dead at his eyes, showing he's serious. There was no sign of any playful or joking in his tone like usual. Immediately let Aizawa know that Nizu is serious. At the police station, there was no mistake that he's of NET. Aizawa gulps. So just to make sure he's a part NET, as in the Nighthawk Elite Task Force, aka NET, its existence is not secretive as it has been around for years, and is more powerful and influential than the normal military that you know of. Their influence is so great that its position is higher than the Hero Association, Izuru said, shocking the kids. What? Higher than the Hero Associations? How is that possible? Monoma asks, still in shock. How could a military service be higher than the Hero Association? Being around for many years isn't enough for it to get that high. Thanks to the discovery of quirks, its power and influence expanded, though the requirements of joining became stricter and harder for anyone to be accepted in it. It used to be made up of the 5 branches you know of, but they're like a superior version of each branch, but now it's 6 due to my branch getting added to it few years ago. What's your branch called, Mr. Midoriya? Kendo asks. The branch I'm a part of is called Metallic Veilhawk Vanguard, or the short version. MVV? Aizawa asks, confused. Yes, it seems that it was around not that long ago, just 5 years ago. The card Mr. Midoriya gave me gives me some information about the unit he's a part of, but not all of it. Apparently, MVV was an ordinary military service with a different name, but then it changed and became very significant enough to be a own branch, a part of NET. Seems it changed the moment Mr. Midoriya joined it, Nizu said. Aizawa's eyes narrowed a little. Incredible. Just one person made an entire service become a branch of its own and a part of an ET. Just what kind of person is his brother to her incredible feat? Nizu nods. That's not all. It appears that his branch is a part of a program that's joint with America. Aizawa tilted his head. America? Is that why we're heading there? Shinso asked. Izuru nodded yes. A program to strengthen the alliance between the two. Izuku gasped. So that's why you went overseas 5 years ago. You were there for that program? Izuku asked. Yes, baby brother. I was sent there and changed it up a bit for my vision, and now you will be a part of it, he said with a small smile. Everyone smiled hearing it. Midoriya, I'm so jealous of you, dude. Tetsu said in a cheerful tone, complimenting Izuku. I agree. Makes me wish that I wasn't an only child, Midoriya Shinso said. Hatsum nods excitedly. Yet to have a brother that have done such achievements. He's way beyond what I expected being a problem child brother. I wonder what he would be like if he was a hero. Aizawa said. Nizu nodded and sighed. Yes, I wonder too. But from what I heard from Mr. Bakugo, Izuku brother has a dislike for heroes that he joined the military to avoid being a hero to help people. If he was a hero, I bet everything would have been different and Japan would have thrived a lot more. I hope that he helped his little brother become more than what he would have been if he stayed here, Nizu said. Though he's not wrong, if Izuru didn't have such a disdain towards heroes, Japan would have been a whole lot different from what we know of. They would have gone beyond what they're currently at and be at peak human achievement. Izuru sees the base getting closer. He starts flying a little low as they reach their destination. We're about to arrive. Welcome to MVV and your new home. Don't be blown away too much when you see it closely, Izuru said, then start flying fast towards the base. The kids leaned forward to the window to see that Izuru's words weren't extradited, as what they saw made their jaws drop to the floor and their eyes almost popped out of their head. What did they see to make that type of reaction? What does this supposed base look like? What exactly did Izuru do to change this military unit into a separate military branch? And what other secrets aren't being revealed? Tune into the chapter by saving this story and follow to know how all of these questions will be answered. Peace. It was the military base, but it didn't look like any typical base you have ever seen. It looked like it was straight out of a sci-fi movie. The buildings look out of this world. The vehicles look like they only should have existed in a child's imagination. And it looks larger than UA or any of the buildings they went to for their field trip or mission. The sight was amazing and beautiful to see that it'll feel like you're dreaming. The kids stare at the window in awe while Hatsum was drooling at the sight she was seeing. It was like she died and went to heaven. Izuru looked over, seeing Izuku amazed at the sight of the base. He blushed a bit and smiled, seeing that Izuku is impressed. Welcome to MVV base, where you guys will be living and training until you guys are ready to be a part of your own platoon and go on missions, Izuru said. Hatsum quickly turned her head. Mr. Older Midoriya, this base is really real. Did you make this out of this world military base? Hatsum asks with hope and excitement, hoping he'll say yes, which he did by a nod. Yes, mostly me. With others' help, I made this military base to what you're seeing now. Hatsum sequel and almost passed out from the overwhelming excitement. Izuku's eyes sparkled as he looked at his brother Izuku. It is amazing. Doing this with your quirk is such incredible feat. How did you do it with your quirk? Izuku wonders how Izuru was able to do this kind of thing, as his quirk was a lot different when they were younger. Izuru smiles. I sort of, you could say, upgraded my quirk. Since it's related to technology, one push it to its limit every day and year till I can perform what no other human can, even if they share the same love of technology. Izuru smiled at Izuku. Once we land, you and the others will spend the rest of the day at my house getting settled in until tomorrow, where you'll attend the school with the other cadets. Izuku's eyes sparkled. He'll be meeting the other kids and make more new friends, hopefully better than his old ones. Don't worry, Izuku. I promise to work my hardest to meet your expectations and catch up with the other students at the school. Izuku said with determination. You'll fit in nicely, Zuzu, as they're quirkless cadets at the academy, so you wouldn't feel left out, Izuru said, surprising Izuku and the others. There are quirkless students at your school? As in they're training to become soldiers, a part of your military soon? Izuku asked slowly, making sure he wasn't hearing things. Izuru nods, confirming Izuku's words. Yes, there are quirkless cadets at the academy training to become soldiers soon, he said. Monoma leaned forward. No way. You really have quirkless kids attending your school, he asked. I don't see the reason why I shouldn't. Everyone deserves a chance to have a successful opportunity to change their life for the greater quirk or no quirk. With my advanced equipment, quirkless cadets have the chance to keep up with the quirk cadets, maybe even surpass them if they are trained or are skillful enough. All the Academy is looking for are skilled or talented cadets, not any flashy quirks, he said. Everyone looked impressed by his words. It's not every day, especially in Japan, where quirkless people have opportunities to be along the same level as quirk people. Usually, they're just average workers or police officers, while quirk people have a lot more opportunities, mostly those that have flashy attention-catching quirks. Shinso was impressed mostly by his words. So you accept quirkless kids giving them the same attention and opportunities as quirk kids, huh? What about kids that have villainous quirks? He asked. He had some doubt in him that such a perfect-looking place would accept kids like him where their quirks are seen as villain quirks. Izuru immediately noticed the meaning behind his words and see his expression. I already told you. There are no such thing as hero or villain quirks. Quirks are just a superpower. It's the user that decides how they should use them, Izuru said, comforting Shinso with his words. He knows that Shinso faced discrimination due to his kind control quirk, which disgusted him very, but he doesn't show. Shinso's face blushed a bit hearing his words. Thanks, Mr. Midoriya, he said, trying to keep his composure, but failing a little. Tetsu patted Izuku's shoulder. You have such a great brother, Midoriya, he said with his smile. Kendo nods. Yeah. He's so amazing and accepting. He's like a saint, she smiled. Izuku felt flustered by their words that he looked down to hide his blush. Izuku is so amazing, managing to do all of this with his quirk and his intelligence. He became so much better than when I last saw him, and gave both quirk and quirkless kids the same opportunity, so they can all be equal. I always knew he was a genius, but this goes beyond his title. And giving me a chance where I can be picked right back up is too kind for him to do. He clenched his hands, and a look of determination was written all over his face. I mustn't take his gratitude for granted and let it go to waste. I will work hard to meet his expectations and become the greatest soldier to fight along with my brother, he thought. While he was giving himself a pep talk, Izuru was glancing over him, seeing his determination. He felt his heart pounding as his face heated up. Turn away to cover his reddened face, so adorable. That look on his face makes him even cuter. Don't worry, baby brother, I'll set out everything for you to succeed and become right by my side. And I swear. His face turned serious, maybe even dangerous, as he gripped the steering wheel with a lot of force. I'll make those damn heroes pay for betraying you if it's the last thing I do, he thought, in a low, menacing tone. The truck starts flying low, getting closer to the ground as it's about time to land. As they got closer, the view of the base, the landscape of it was more clear as they saw multiple bases scattered around and a large campus with many fatalities, which means it must be the academy Izuru was talking about. The truck flies towards what looks like the main building. As it's bigger, looks like it has a lot of security, and the design looks like it was made to be the main headquarters anyway. The truck flies through it, then flies over the military section as it goes to an area that looks like the living area, looking like a regular neighborhood, except more futuristic. It flies up beyond that area to a mansion that's pretty far away. It lands on the ground and transforms back into being a regular truck. Everyone got out of the truck. The kids looked at the mansion, and their jaws almost dropped to the floor seeing it. As noticed their bewildered expressions. This is where I live. I renovated it to match my taste. This is where you kids will be staying until tomorrow, where you will be staying at the dorms at the academy, he said. Then he pulled out earpieces from his pocket. Since you guys are in America, that means English will be spoken towards you. These will automatically translate what is being said to you. I'll teach you guys how to read and write in English, so you wouldn't be helpless even with the translator. He handed the earpieces to them. They place it in their ears, then go inside, where even the inside looks as luxurious as the outside. They look around in astonishment until Izuru, is that you? You finally came back after that mysterious outburst? A voice said. Everyone turned to see a young man with white hair and red eyes wearing a casual t-shirt with blue jeans with some scars shown on his arms walking down the stairs. He walked downstairs, then see Izuru with 5 kids and a mini version of him behind him. He raised his eyebrow. What's with the kids and a mini clone of you? He jokingly asked. Izuru sighs. This is my little brother Izuku, the one I've been telling you about. And these are his friends from his old school. I transfer them out, so they'll be attending the academy tomorrow. Right now, they're staying here for the time being. Please be respectful to my brother, Izuru said in a serious tone. The white-haired young man looked at Izuku. closely seeing the resemble between the two. The only difference is how Izuku's whole vibe is different between Izuru. It feels nice and welcome, and you don't have to worry about your bones being broken if you just look at him the wrong way. He smiles and shakes Izuku's hand. Hey ya. Nice to meet you, Mini Izuru. My name is Eric. Pleasure to finally meet the golden brother Mr. Grumpy Pants been telling me and James about, he said. Izuku smiled at him a little. Nice to meet you too. I'm glad my brother been speaking about me. Eric immediately noticed that his looks weren't deceiving after all. Izuku is the opposite of Izuru. He looks at Izuru about to make a joke, but he notices Izuru glaring at him like he's about to snap his wrist in a moment. He didn't say a word as his eyes did, and they're saying let go now or say goodbye to your hand. Doesn't take a rocket doctor to know that a threat, a warning, and a promise. Eric sweated a bit and immediately let go of Izuku's hand, taking a step back, not taking chances. What's going on out there? Are you two fighting again? Another voice said, coming out of the kitchen. A young man with black hair and silver eyes comes out wearing a regular black shirt with camo pants, holding a cup of water. Oh, Izuru, you are back. Who are these kids and the clone? He asked. My little brother Izuku and his friends. James. Izuru introduced. You two show them around the house. I gotta take care of something in my room for a moment, he said, then walk away going upstairs. James was a little confused but shrugs, used to Izuru's attitude, while Eric nods, still feeling shaken up by Izuru's glare. Alright, welcome to our house, fresh meat. This place is pretty big but roomy, so you guys will have your own rooms or share together if you like, Eric said. Then he and James showed them around the house for basic things on the first floor like the living room, kitchen, the garage, the training room, the gym, the backyard, then took them upstairs where the bedrooms were, but they stopped in front of a door. Rule 1. Never go into this room. This room is off limits only to Izuru, where he have very personal stuff in there. We don't know what they are, but he doesn't want anyone in, so no touching, even the doorknob, as he checks for recent fingerprints, Eric said. James nodded. As long you kids don't even touch the doorknob, you have a chance getting on Izuru's good side, he said. The kids look at the door wondering what's inside, but they respect Izuru's privacy and agreed to not touch the door. The tour continues as they reach towards the guest rooms. I hope you guys enjoyed the tour, Izuru said, suddenly walking up to them. Now tomorrow will be your first day at the academy. It works differently than UA, but I'll explain it to you. I already made your uniforms using my 3D knitting machine. Now you will still be learning general basic lessons, but there are other activities that are extremely different from UA. Will you guys be able to handle it? He asked, but it was more like he was checking if they're up for the challenge they'll face. The group looked at each other, then nodded. They didn't leave their dream school just to back out due to a school being different from theirs. Izuru acknowledges that they have the determination that he wanted, but will they be able to keep it up? Everyone took a guest room to rest in as it was getting dark outside. They settled their stuff, then chill in the living room after everything that happened. They really needed it. Monoma sighs, then stretches. Man, what a day today have been. First revealing Class 1A and All Might are a bunch of idiots full of fakes and got an opportunity to leave our dream hero school to join a military school that's overseas and is like from the future. Can't wait to remember this as a fun memory, he joked, then Kendo smack his head. She looked at Izuku. Midoriya, I've been wondering for a while, but school did your brother attend to end up this way? She asked, then Hatsum grab Izuku and shakes him. And what's his quirk? I need to know. She asks, excited. It been killing her and everyone the whole time to know some information about Izuru. Izuku chuckles a little. Okay, I'll tell you. Izuku's quirk is called Techmaster, a quirk that allows him to have some control over technology and machines, and my brother actually went to military school after middle school. Everyone looked at him dumbfounded by what he said. They couldn't believe that someone with a genius IQ would have such a mid-tier quirk and went to military school. What? You're telling us that your brother has some control over technology and never went to a hero school, but military school? Tetsu said. Izuku nods. Yeah. Izuku's quirk isn't all that flashy. His IQ and love of technique makes it up, as he found a way to use his quirk to advance his inventions when he was a kid. He never really cared, or even like heroes when we were kids. Even All Might and every child loved him, but Izuku. He wanted to help people with his inventions, but he refuses to do that by becoming a hero and didn't want to be a police officer and regular inventor, so he went to military to join the army. They stared at Izuku processing the information. They couldn't believe it. His high IQ made up for his lack of a flashy quirk, and he never liked heroes as a child, even All Might. Now that was something they didn't expect to hear in their lives. a child not liking All Might. Wow, I never thought your brother would have such a distaste for heroes, Shinso said. Izuku nervously laughs. It's fine. But wasn't that bad, he said with a smile, trying to ease them a bit, but he absolutely despises heroes. Whenever he catches me with a hero toy or watches a video with a hero in it, I would find my toys broken or disfigured, and I keep stopping from breaking the computer and TV. His mind went down memory line, recalling how much Izuru hated heroes as a child. Still pretty amazing your brother been able to achieve these things with his brain doing all the work, Shinso said. Izuku smiled at his compliment, but quickly went into thought his IQ must have gotten higher to achieve this kind of feat. But his quirk, if he's able to make all of these technical changes to a simple military base, then how powerful as his quirk became. After I last saw him, Izuku was in deep thought. Everyone got tired and decided to hit the hay for the night. They all went to the guest rooms. Hatsum and Kendo went to theirs. Tetsu went to his. Monoma and Shinso shared a room, and Izuku was about to go to his, but he saw Izuru talking to his roommates. Izuru notices Izuku and smiles. Zuzu, my baby brother. I was about to look for you. I was about to head to bed, but I didn't feel like being alone. Want to sleep together like old times? It'll really help me sleep, he asked in a cheerful tone with a smile. Eric and James stood there jolting at what they just saw. It was like they saw a completely different person. Izuku thought for a moment, then agreed to sleep with his brother. It's been a long time since they had some brother-bonded moments, so tonight is perfect. They walked back to Izuru's room, while Izuru secretly glares at Eric and James as a warning to not say a word about this. The brothers made it back to Izuru's room. It was tidy and clean with blueprints neatly hung up or stacked on his desks. Usually people who are obsessed with machines and technology would have a messy bedroom, but Izuru was as clean as a spotless whistle. They got in the bed together, and Izuku settled in comfortably. Thanks to Izuru's comfortable bed, he fell asleep immediately. Izuru wrapped his arms around Izuku's waist, then snuggled him close. He fell asleep immediately. It was the first time in a long time since Izuru actually was as out as a light. Everyone slept perfectly through the night, not knowing that their first day at the academy will literally change their lives and themselves forever. It's now the official first day, and you know what that means? First day of school. Izuru was driving Izuku and the others to the academy. They were wearing their new uniforms, a black jacket with red vest, white shirt, and tie with black pants and dress shoes. Kendo and Hatsum were wearing the same thing, but skirts that's not above the knee and black leggings. These uniforms look amazing, Izuku. They fit us so perfectly, Izuku said, feeling his new uniform on him. And they look so formal and well made. It's almost like my hero costume, Monoma said, amazed by the uniform design. Izuru just shrugs. The fabric is not a typical fabric, as it's made with fabric that conducts electricity, allowed it to work functional with quirks that need electricity, or for it to work functional with the training equipment, along with it having its own features. Everyone looked amazed at his words, especially Hatsum. These uniforms are compatible with electricity and machines. Such a genius, Hatsum said. Izuru glanced over and see Izuku looking at his uniform, impressed by its ability to be compatible with machines and electricity. He had to hold back a smile. I'm so glad you like your uniform, Zuzu. I made your uniform special than the rest along with the cadets. I swear you'll have everything for you to stay with me the branch forever. Izuru thought. He coughed to keep his composure. Now there's something you kids need to know about the academy, as you'll be training and living there for the next 2 years, so listen up, as this is important, he said in a firm tone. Everyone listened carefully, as this information will literally help them know what they should do at their new school. Izuru went on to explain what the academy is, and that there are more than one type of uniforms there. First up is the academy itself. The academy, named to start off with, is called Military Elite Cadets Horizon Academics, or MECA Academy for short. It is a large military inboard campus where cadets will not only learn and train, but also will be living. The uniforms at MECA are color-coded according to the cadets' skill sets and power levels of where to place them. They don't get sorted into this color system, though, until their second year at the academy, where after they have been secretly analyzed for behavior, skills, and quirk power abilities in their first year, the academy have enough data to sort them. In this academy, ranks mean everything. Doesn't matter if you have a quirk or not. Doesn't matter if you have a hero quirk or a villain quirk. Doesn't matter if you have a flashy quirk or you don't. As long you have a high position, that's where it matters as you get benefits that's fair and helpful because it's training you to be in the military where ranks are absolute, so of course it'll match up. Cadets wearing purple uniforms are called amethyst wolves. And for the most part, to put it simply, they are average. So to speak, they're not too powerful, but they're also not too weak. Not too slow progress or too fast progress. Not too perfect or too troublemaking, which is majority of the school. They have their own multiple dormitories that's in their own area. Since majority of the academy are purple, they have 6 or 9 dorms with their own living areas like stores, entertainment as such. If a amethyst were to actually level up to with their very skillful, and if possible have strong quirks, then for them to be resorted in a new section behavior would be the final judgment. But mostly the amethyst stays in their own line while getting better and stronger in their own way. Amethyst students have mostly shared the same classes as the other 2 sections, but for some classes they have their own for safety reasons. Cadets wearing white and blue uniforms are called the Jade Jaguars. They are what you would call the perfect students. They have powerful quirks, they have perfect or good behavior, and they progress faster than other students. They're like the light of the academy where cadets are in awe of them, and they're the leading role models for cadets to follow even in their own sections. As unlike the amethyst cadets, they have their own separate dormitory, and they're only 2 or 3 because it's an uncommon or rare sight to see cadets like those. That's why there are few dorms of their sect, but they do have their own area. A Jade Lion manages to move themselves higher above or already above, then they're not going to be relocated to a new section. Instead, they get promoted to a higher rank that even their uniforms change to show their promotion. They go from the Jade Jaguars to Orthodox Lions. Their new rank and uniforms give those cadets new benefits and advantages. It also shows how powerful or skilled these students are to rise this far above, even in cadets in their own sect, though there are a few dozen that made it to this rank, so it's a rare sight to see. However, if a Jade Jaguar or an Orthodox Lion manages to fall behind, they will be transferred to the Amethyst sect, or if they change their actions and behavior, then they will be transferred to another sect, and their position will be reset to the beginning. Unless they're powerful or skilled, then they keep their position, but if they do something absolutely horrible or out of line, then they will be kicked out of the academy, or worse. Cadets wearing red uniforms are called Maroon Panthers. They're basically where the trouble kids are put. They're either delinquents or cadets that can't be handled properly by the staff, so they're placed here. And of course they'll have their own sect, as it's not a whole lot of cadets that act fully this certain way. Are they the lowest in the academy? No. Actually, they match with the Jade Jaguars because yes, though they are delinquents, they are very skilled or have powerful quirks, which makes them great rivals for the Jade Jaguars. To put it simple, if the Jade Jaguars are like the light of the academy, then the Maroon Panthers are the dark side of the academy. They're difficult to tame, but not impossible, as they're slowly becoming tamed to control, so you know they won't end up as villains in case that happens. Will they be transferred out of their sect if they do change behavior? No, because it'd still be them, but minus the mindset of causing trouble. Do they have the same benefits as the Jade Jaguars? Yes, and their own additional benefits, since they're as clear as day different. Which also means they get a promotion for raising above the others. After their promotion, Maroon Panthers are now the Crimson Phoenix, as it's like they're being reborn as their new self, sort of. Do they get the same benefits as the Orthodox Lions? Yes, plus their own. Unlike the other 2, this sect have 3 chances to mess up pretty big before they're kicked out, because they have potential and useful to the military. They don't want of those that. But then again, if it's shown that they can't change, then they will be kicked out with no hesitation, as they got the help, but refuse to change. These are the 3 dormitories that center the academy, and that will be the future generation that will be a part of the military branch. This academy doesn't play around when it comes to their cadets or students. It's very protective and secure, but also has no hesitation to eliminate a threat for the safety of the students. A very, very large campus that may seem ordinary, but actually is a way to upgrade those that attend through methods that haven't been done or seen before in mankind history. Izuku and the others' eyes widened while their jaws almost dropped to the floor as Izuru finished what he explained to them. That sounds so different from UA Izuku, but also amazing how the system is its own thing and will help improve the students' abilities, Izuku said as his eyes sparkle. Shinso looked at his red vest. So we're sorted in a dormitory of where some of the other half of the cadets are the elites. Huh? I can get used to that, Shinso said with a little smile. Monoma puts on his smugly smirk. Yes. Finally, A place where I belong. A place that fully accepts that I am greater than the others currently than class jerk say. Monoma was cut off by Kendo smacking his head. Everyone chatted with each other excitedly for their first day at MECA Academy. Izuru side eyes for a moment Zuzu. A smart kid and his friends seem so too. It won't take them long to realize what makes the Maroon sect stand out against the others. I hope he'll be able to push himself since the Maroon sect won't be easy. Especially since he'll be in that squad, Izuru thought. Then he flies low as his truck approached the academy. Meanwhile, at the MECA Academy at the Maroon sect. Have you guys heard? Today's the day where we'll be meeting transfer students. So what? What's the big deal? It's probably the amethysts coming other. No, you simpleton. These transfers are different as they're overseas, and apparently they're hand-picked by the Saint Izuru. Saint Izuru hand-picked them? Now, that is something new. They gotta be special then. I hope they'll fun to play whether else they're as good as little pawns. What do you think, Cap? All I hope is that they prove their worth and not get in my way now. Gather at the gym already. Our saint have arrived. Military Elite Cadets Horizon Academic Academy, or MECA Academy for short. This academy campus looks much bigger than UA, that's for sure, as it has more facilities and much more land for activities. The layout and the design of each building looks so advanced and look like they belong to a time period that's century or more in the future. And most importantly, it is the future home for the future generations of soldiers. Izuru flies low, getting closer and closer to the ground, allowing Izuku and the others to see more clearly of the academy and maybe the cadets. He's able to see cadets walking to the academy building wearing their color-coordinated uniforms, making it easy to tell them apart, and they look good wearing them. Izuru starts to fly to the west side of the campus. Sometime later, his truck starts to approach a building that's different from the rest of the academy. The Maroon sect, an area of the campus that belongs to this sect that's a little bit far away from the academy. There are some cadets already outside doing their own thing, like talking or hanging out with some friends. And looks like they have their own stores and entertainment as it enclosed their dormitories, making it a guarded village. Speaking of their dormitories, it stands out in the center, tall, huge, and intimidating, letting those who are outsiders immediately know that they are different from the rest of the academy sections. Izuru lands in front of the dormitory that stands in the center of it all. The kids gets out of the truck with their belongings. They stared at their new dormitory. This is the main dormitory. Welcome to Maroon Dormitory, where cadets wearing your uniform lives. I'm sure you'll be able to make some friends, baby bro, Izuru said with a smile. The kids looked around, catching a good first impression view of their new home, their fresh start. Now actually inside, they noticed how it's not just the dormitories, but it's the stores, the entertainment buildings, etc. Their design look a little different from the rest of the campus and the other two sections. Izuru walks them inside the dormitory. They enter through what looks like the main hall. Waiting in front of them is a large man with brown skin wearing a black suit with black tie and white shirt, standing firmly and intimidating, like he is trying to size them up to put it in them that they shouldn't mess with him, and it's working. Zuzu, meet the headmaster of the dorm and my comrade in battle, Mr. Jackson. He will be of your assistance since you're a bit behind the rest of the cadets. Izuru said, then turned to Mr. Jackson. Mr. Jackson, this is my little brother Izuku, and these are his friends. They just transferred from other seas and will be attending here for the rest of the school year. Izuru said. Izuku stared at him, then he bowed. It's a pleasure to meet you. Sure. I promise to keep up and work my hardest towards success, Mr. Jack, he said, then showed his bright smile. Mr. Jackson stared at Izuku with a firm stare. He definitely shares the same looks as him, so it's obvious that they're related, but the air around him is so different. It'd be hard to believe that they are related, not with this lunatic, he thought for a moment, then responded, welcome to MECA and the Maroon sect. I have been requested to give you a hand up, so I'll do to the best of my abilities to help you keep up with the other cadets, he said in a deep, firm voice. He then snapped his fingers, and multiple robots came to him. Then they took the group luggage and walked away. Your luggage will be carried to your dorm now. Come along, we have to have you meet your future comrades. To the gym, he commanded, and they all follow him. As they were walking, Mr. Jackson glances at him, observing them more. No matter how much I think about them, maybe the blonde and the purple hair, they don't look like they belong in this sort of sect. The amethyst possibly, but for placing them here instead of the jade sect? Either his brother isn't what he seems to be like his older brother, or that madman have something planned for these kids, especially his little brother. They eventually made it to the gym where the cadets were gathered. Mr. Jackson and Izuru walked Izuku and the others up to the stage. "Attention!" he yells out. The cadets stop talking and they gather in an okayish line. "Cadets, we have a special guest here with us today with important news, so listen up." Izuru stepped forward, making everyone whisper, "Greetings, cadets. I'm sure you heard about the rumors about getting a new transfer student from overseas. Yes, they are true. I went back to Japan for personal reasons and came back potential I want to see grow here." He grabbed Izuku's hand and pull him forward. "This is my baby brother, Izuku Midoriya, and these are his friends. They will be attending here for the remainder of the school years, though they are a bit late. So I hope you treat them well and help them catch up," Izuru said. The cadets whispered to each other at the news. "The saint has a little brother? Obviously, I mean, look at him. He's the exact copy of him. He looks cute. I wonder if he's single. I wonder if he like boys, 'cause I'll take him. I wonder what type of quirk he have got to be powerful, just like the saints. Why does he look like he doesn't belong here? He looked too soft-hearted. Yeah, he looked like a ray of sunshine that should be in the Jade Jaguar, not here. Can the major officer and captain of the sophomores come up to the stage?" Izuru commands. Then two cadets walk up from the crowd and stand tall in front of him. It was two girls, the first girl with long silver blue hair and red eyes. She looked a little young to be enrolled in the academy due to her height and appearance, but her serious facial expression and how she presents herself portray otherwise. Her uniform was different from the others. Her Crimson Phoenix uniform shows her portray her rank and power, following with her whole vibe rightly fits her. The girl standing next to her was quite different. She had long white hair tied up in a ponytail with gray smoke eyes. Her whole existence emits a dangerous, dark aura, giving off this is a girl you shouldn't mess with. Her shirt collar was a little bit open, revealing little parts of tattoos on her neck. Her Crimson Phoenix uniform was also different from the rest of the cadets to show her power and rank, but not over the first girl. Meet our captain of the sophomores, Cassandra Wolf, and don't be fooled by her appearance. She more powerful than she seems. Our major officer of sophomores, Crystal Winter, Mr. Jackson said. The silver blue hair Crystal stares deeply at them, while the white hair Cassandra just shrugs her shoulders a little. These two are the best in their entire grade. They will be your guide and help you whatever you need with, Jackson said. And they'll be your squad mates as you'll be put in their care, Izuru said, surprising everyone. The apparent Saints leader brother will join their sect, third strongest. A group so tight-knitted that only they select who could even assist them, are having not one, not two, but 6 new people joining them. Yes, Saint Izuru, we'll take care of your brother and his friends and help to reach our level, Crystal said. Everyone cheered about the welcoming and the announcement. Meeting is over. You two take them to your platoon and get them adjusted, Jackson said. Crystal and Cassandra took Izuku and the others away while everyone glanced at them before leaving. Sometime later, Jackson and Izuru were in Jackson's office. Jackson glared suspiciously at Izuru, knowing him for almost 6 years. Now, what's your game, Izuru? He bluntly asked. Izuru didn't give a reaction. Instead, he just blankly stared at him. Nothing. Just helping my baby brother finally get the help he needed, that's all, he said. Jackson's eyes narrowed. By placing him here? He doesn't belong in this place. Neither does his friends except for 2. What's your plan here? He said with frustration. He knows that Izuru has some kind of plan. He never does actions first that would be illogical for him to do. Izuru huffed. My baby brother needs strong allies and protection. The Maroon sect will not only protect him stronger, but he'll also grow tougher. I know what I'm doing now. All I need you to do is assist my baby brother as much as you can and protect me, because if something happens. He leans forward over Jackson's desk. As his face darkened, there will be no holding back for readjustments, Jackson, he said slowly and seriously. There was no hesitation in his eyes when he made that threat. Yes, you read right, a threat, not a warning. Jackson flinched a bit and slowly nodded. I understand. And what about the others? He asked, mentioning Izuku friends. Whatever you think will make them stronger. The files of their quirks should be enough to give you a training plan. Just make sure they're strong enough for my precious Zuzu, he said nonchalantly, then leaves Jackson's office. Jackson sighs. Damn lunatic. You order so much for your brother, yet little for his friends. I knew you love your brother, but he stops as he recalls what happened, and even past events. His eyes narrow. Not to this point. Those eyes and the words you describe him. Are you being overprotective? Or is there another feeling towards your brother, Izuru? He mumbled to himself, questioning Izuru even more, but he knows it'll lead to trouble, so instead, he just follow his command and went on his computer to look at the transferred files. What's going on? Did Izuru actually told Izuku and the truth the nature of this dormitory? Why is everyone calling Izuru a saint? Who are those two girls really? Who's the third strongest platoon in the sect, and why are they so close-knitted? What's the relationship between Jackson and Izuru? And what's Izuru deal with Izuku? Is it just overprotectiveness, or is there a deep reason for all his actions? Have you asked all of these questions and want the answers? Then find out next time on this mentally stained story. Crystal and Winter walked Izuku and the others to another second section of the dorms that's upstairs. This is where our whole platoon lives. We live in this section on the second floor. We'll give you a guide of the dorm's layout later, Cassandra said calmly. Crystal still hasn't said a word, yet strangely. They entered the dorm, and the gang heir looked around amazed at their new dorm that they're in. Didn't have a guide through the dorm, but they can already tell that this dorm is very different from the rest. Hell, it's better than the dorms back at UA. Izuku's eyes sparkled. This place is so beautiful. Is this really a dorm for a military academy, especially for a platoon? He said amazed. Cassandra noticed Izuku's excitement and nods. While becoming a platoon isn't easy, it takes a lot, like finding the right people to be a part of it. Since we have a limit, it's crucial to pick carefully. And those that follow directions, some meatheads to help keep the underlings under control, and finally leader that can handle all of us and give out orders. Cassandra example. Izuku, being himself, was taking in every information given to him with excitement and care. Once our platoon was formed, we were rewarded with our own floor and private dorm, training hall, equipment, and more. Cassandra explained more. And more? Izuku and the gang said in unison. They were surprised, and who wouldn't be? You get extra benefits from the others, and there are still more added to it. There weren't any benefits back at UA. The only benefits are you still get to live and be a part of the fight legally now due to your hero license. Whoa. Midoriya, your big brother is so amazing. Tetsu exclaimed. I agree. Your brother wasn't lying when he said he put in a lot for the cadets to succeed, Kendo said. Shinso looked around. Yeah. Look at this place. You wouldn't have thought this was a dorm at first. UA couldn't compare even if they tried to step up, Shinso said deadpan. But underneath, he was impressed solely by the dorm. Damn you, Midoriya. Your brother impressed me again, but I'll come on top. Monoma said. If just a fancy dorm is enough to impress you, then I suggest you leave. We worked hard to become a platoon, and I'm not going to let some newbie transfers get in our way, Crystal exclaimed coldly, and turned around finally, facing them Izuku and the others. If the saint himself handpicks for you to not only join MECA, but our sect and our platoon, then you better prove your worth. Crystal's simple but firm words cut through them hard. Monoma scoffed. Hey, what's the big idea? We earn our place here like you. What, afraid that we might actually be better? Monoma got cocky again, but fortunately Kendo smacked his head, stopping him. Izuku sweated a bit, but nods. Understood. We promise to work hard and prove our worth to you. We'll show you why my brother picked us, Izuku said as he looked at Crystal determinedly. He quickly understood how serious Crystal words are. He quickly understood the type of person she is, and of course our boy doesn't like giving people bad impressions of him. Crystal stared at him for a moment before turning her back. I'll see to your promise, then she said. Then she walked away. Cassandra sighed. Don't mind her, she's always like this. Just want to make sure that you guys didn't get in through special treatment, and you turn out to be harmful to us. Cassandra rubs her temples. You can talk and explore the dorm. The meatheads will help you for questions. Besides me and her, they're also high level. Just check their uniforms, Cassandra said. Then she walked away following Crystal. Man, that girl is cold and serious. Looks like if we want to officially acknowledge in this place, we have to give it our all. Shinso said. Everyone agrees. Cassandra catches up to Crystal. I know with that attitude and tone of yours it scares or puts down the newcomers, but that was more heartless than usual. Cassandra asks, knowing Crystal close now to know that Crystal said earlier was more harsh than she usually is. Crystal continues walking while side-glancing Cassandra. I hate having burdens on my platoon, so if they're useless, I'll kick them off immediately. The saint himself said burdens should be taken seriously because not only our lives, but theirs as well would be in danger, she said bluntly. She wasn't sugarcoating her straightforward but hurtful words. Cassandra nods. She understands it's something that has been drilled into them since that day from Izuru. Yeah, I get that rule too, but the saint brought his brother and his brother's friends here. That means that they have some great quirks or talent, or else the saint wouldn't have chosen them. I knows, Cassandra said seriously, staring at Crystal. Crystal sighs. It's not that I don't think they're useless. It's the fact that the saint brought them for a reason. He's a calculating man, always thinking of future plans. Everything has a part in his plans, rather it's objects or people. Crystal said, then she walked away. I'll find what kind of purpose those five have doing here. As for his brother, what is important is seeing what kind of person he is. Everyone about him screams that he's different, but looks can be deceiving. Me and this entire country learned that lesson. The reset, she thought. Come Cassandra, we have preparations to attend, Crystal said. Cassandra nods and followed Crystal. Meanwhile, with Izuku and the others, the cadets were gathered around. Izuku and the others wanted the chance to talk to the rare transfer students. Are you trying to suffocate them? Step back and give them space, a voice commands. The cadets step back following their command. They instead make space, almost as if they're letting people through, which they are. Walking through the crowd, a tall, slender, but muscular boy with short black hair and light purple eyes, piercings in his right ear, wearing a black mask and a crimson phoenix uniform with a cape. He calmly stares at them. Doesn't matter if they're new or he's the saint's brother. Back the hell off them, they're not an attraction for you to see, he said, monotone, barely any emotion in his voice. Another boy that's slender and muscular with spike red hair, long hair that a little shave on the side, and red flaming eyes, piercings in his left ear. He's also wearing a crimson phoenix uniform, but messy grins. Can you blame them? They're meeting the saint's copycat in the flesh. I'm getting excited already just looking at him, he grins. The last one is tall, slender boy with long white hair and yellow eyes, wearing glasses and gloves with a crimson phoenix uniform that's perfectly neat, scoffs. Still have some manners. Today's a special day, yet you idiots are acting the opposite, he said. The red hair wrapped his arm around the black hair. Yo, I'm Aries. Welcome to this hellhole. Nice to meet Saint's baby bro and his buds, he said, and nudged the black hair, who sighs. Guess I gotta introduce myself then. I'm Tristan, nice to meet you, I guess, he said in a monotone voice, hard to tell what expression he's making due to the mask. The white hair scoffs at the two. You two call that an introduction to the saint's brother and the transfers that were handpicked by the saint? Please, you simpletons, let the genius show you how it's done. I'm Quinn, one of the lieutenants and head technician/support in the platoon. These two numbskulls are also lieutenants. Their uniforms are just messy, especially Flames, he said proudly, while making blunt remarks. Aries glares at him. Shut it, Maddie. He faces Izuku and smirks. Let's spare some time, mini saint. I want to see how you live up to your brother, he smirks mischievously. Izuku got surprised and dumbfounded by his sudden words. Tristan nudged Aries. Sorry about him. It's his way of greeting and knowing people, Tristan said nonchalant. Quinn rolled his eyes. Yeah, so don't get too offended by his words. It's his actions that's the problem, Quinn huffed. Izuku nods and chuckles. It's fine, really. I'm actually used to people like him. I'm Izuku Midoriya, he introduced himself. Tetsu smiles. I'm Tetsu, and I'll be taking your offer of sparring sometime. Tetsu smiled, giving out his usual charm. Monoma gave them his smug smirk. Don't get too cocky, because it won't take us long before we'll take your spots, Arg. Monoma, giving his cocky speech, was stopped as he was smacked in the head by Kendo. Sorry about him. We also got this type. He's Monoma Nito, and I'm Kendo Atsuka. Kendo sighs as she introduces herself, and the idiot. Shinso sighs. I'm Hitoshi Shinso, somewhat sane in this group. Hatsum does her energetic introduction, and I'm Mei. Hatsum, pleasure to be in this advanced heaven, and I would love to be working with you. She grabbed Quinn's hand and shakes it enthusiastically. Hey Izuku, what kind of quirk do you have? He's related to the saint, I bet. He have some powerful quirk like his brother. Aries, hearing the cadets click his tongue. Hey, shut the hell up. Did you retards forget the rules just because we have newbies? He yelled as he grit his teeth. You don't just ask to know of the quirk, we have to. Aries said, but he was cut off by Izuku. No, it's fine. I don't mind telling, Izuku said, but his face showed hesitation. Will it be okay to tell them I'm quirkless? I know Izuku said that it's fine to be quirkless here, but they have high expectations that I'll be like him. Izuku thought. He took a breath. I'm actually quirkless. Haha. Izuku nervously smiles and laughs. He looks around, seeing the cadets staring at him with those eyes again. The saint's little brother is quirkless? Didn't expect that, honestly. Weird considering his brother have a powerful quirk. Izuku looked down and clenched his hands. He had expected this with a discomfort expression. It has always been like this no matter where he is or how old he gets. He always gets compared with disappointment to his brother. Shinso and Monoma notice Izuku's discomfort, and they quickly comfort him. Quinn snapped his fingers. Enough. You apes, he can still hear your whispers, so unless you want the dorm head to hear, Then shut up, Quinn command. The cadets immediately stop their whispers. Tristan looks around for a moment, as if he was looking for someone. Crystal or Cassandra isn't around, which means we're the ones that's supposed to give you the tour of the dorm, he said. Quinn push up his glasses, must be busy with something else if they have to pass down this task to us. All right then, let's get this thing over with, Quinn said. Aries groans, I don't want to do stupid but tour, but angering those two is a death wish, so fine. He randomly grabs Tetsu's shirt and drags him away. Come on, let's go. I have other shit I want to do than this, he bluntly said as he dragged Tetsu away. Everyone minus Tristan and Quinn looked at him dumbfounded before following them. The three went on to give Izuku and the others the tour of the dorm section while explaining how their dorm and the sect works. The Maroon Sect dorms are actually split up into three, one for sophomores, one for juniors, and one for seniors because each grade level has a power gap between each other, so for safety reasons they're split up into three dorms. Freshman isn't with the sophomores or doesn't even have a dorm because they're not labeled yet, so no freshman can be seen throughout the sect unless you go to the school campus. Each dorm looks different from each other to show that each grade level is processing well, so they get more benefits as they get older. The sophomores' dorm is like the lowest in the sect because obviously as they're the lowest grade there. The sophomores' dorm have 4 floors like your typical dorm, but unisex. They have a common room, a kitchen, and the bedrooms are separate, of course, with a security entrance for each gender because obvious reasons. The Maroon Panthers live on the first floor, and it's your typical dormitory. If you're a Crimson Phoenix, then things are different. They live on the second floor where they get more benefits like private bedrooms since there aren't a lot of them, a slightly bigger kitchen, and their own workout room. But if you're in a platoon, things are much different. The platoon lives on the third floor where it's much bigger. They have their own common room, a bigger kitchen. The bedrooms are paired, but they're not small, just medium-sized to a comfortable level. Not only that, but the platoon have access to the 4th floor where their workout room is, which is a whole lot better than the Crimson Phoenix workout room. Izuku and the gang jaws dropped during the tour. They couldn't believe what they were seeing. They knew that the dorms were going to be different from UA, but they didn't expect that there would be more of a lot of clear differences. The gap between UA and MECA dorms are continuing growing. Currently in the workout room, seeing all of the high-tech equipment and just the design of the workout room. This is truly incredible. From the equipment to the technology, Izuku really goes all out for your platoon. Huh? Izuku said as his eyes sparkled, but not as much as Hatsum. That girl's eyes were brighter than the sun. She was running around looking and touching everything she could get her hands on. Midoriya, your brother is incredible. Forget amazing. Just look at this, a mix of ordinary equipment with advanced technology. I must have died and been sent to heaven. She was astonished at everything. And she wasn't the only one. Tetsu was also Googling at the equipment as well, going on about how much he can test his strength to its limits. Kendo-sai, sorry about them. They're just very excited. We never really saw this type of stuff back at UA. Aries laughs, no worries. Everyone gets like that for their first time. Silver Shark looks like a good one. I wonder how strong he is for his worth, Aries said, eyeing Tetsu. Tristan was leaning on the wall, heard loud footsteps approaching, and they're coming fast. He got off the wall and held out his hand when a girl suddenly launched at him with great speed. Luckily, he caught her in time. The girl that randomly appeared surprised Izuku and the others, but Quinn and Aries remained the same. The girl has 2 hair colors. On the right is light purple, and on the left is black, the light purple dominating while their black highlights. Her light brown eyes have 2 different pupils. The left is spiral, while the right have a symbol, a black collar around her neck, black nail polish with black and silver rings on her fingers. Her uniform seems to also a Crimson Phoenix, but the sleeves are very long and look tight. A leather strap is around her chest, and those boots. Where the hell did she come from? Monoma asked, and can't blame him. In a blink of an eye, a random girl appeared in Tristan's arms. The girl giggles at Monoma confusion, while Tristan sighs. Lulu, I told you to not surprise tackle when others are around, he said calmly, staring at the girl. Lulu giggles, wanted to see try. After coming back from the med bay, she said cheerfully, Lulu, there you are. I told you to not run off like that. You just finish your checkup, Cassandra said from afar. Then she walked up close to the group. Lulu laughs, revealing her sharp fangs. Izuku looks at Tristan. How did you know when to catch her? Izuku asked. Tristan shrugs. I just heard her run, that's all, he said nonchalant. But Izuku stared at him. Heard her? But nobody noticed her running to us. And she came from the med bay, but that's on the first floor. Did she run all the way here wearing what looks like heavy boots? Izuku thought, curious and amazed. He rubs his chin. I wonder how powerful their quirks are since they're wearing Crimson Phoenix. Izuku looked at the five. I was wondering, if you don't mind me asking, but what are your guys' quirks? Izuku asked. The five looked at each other, then at Izuku. One of them was about to speak until sorry, but we don't just say what our quirks to others, a voice said. Everyone turned to find its crystal. She walks up to them. We introduce our quirks through a different means that represents our sect, and probably the academy, crystal said. The five nods. Yeah, it's kind of like a tradition of ours to demonstrate quirks for newcomers, Quinn said. Tetsu, eyes lit up. Really? That's cool. I want to join. What's the tradition? He asked excitedly. Aries smirks. We do it by fighting each other in the ring, obviously, Aries said with excitement and a gleam in his eyes. The Maroon sect isn't your typical sect besides the fact that they're where the delinquents are placed, but it's where the uncommon are well common, in a place where the rules are abnormal. Even social rules here are abnormal in this place. Like, instead of just having a simple exchange of words of what your quirk is and what it does, instead they fight it out in a fighting ring where you fight demonstrating your quirk and pray you don't get hurt or die in the fight due to your opponent's quirk. Welcome to the Hazard Arena, where the cadets come to fight each other or witness a fight. This place is where cadets demonstrate their quirks in front of their section of the sect, or where they fight out their feelings, because what's healthier than having a beat down instead of fighting? The area is also used to do other things, but we're not here to talk about a building. What are we, an architect? No, we're here to see if the UA transfers can survive against delinquent cadets with proper military/combat training. Welcome to Hazard Arena, where we properly introduce our quirks to newbies, Aries said, grinning. Izuku and the others look around amazed at the place. So, we're going to demonstrate our quirks by fighting? Kendo asks. Aries nods. Yeah, and if you don't like it, then you can blame the old man for suggesting this, Aries said. Quinn huffed. Don't fully blame him. You and almost everyone in place. People wouldn't shut up about whose quirk is better or hate those that show off or whatever. It leads to a lot of fighting back in the early days. He rolled his eyes. Cassandra groans, remembering it was honestly a mess, so to fix it, Mr. Jackson had those who always fought would be brought here to fight, since nobody here can comprehend talking it out. She said, it surprisingly helps, so whenever there is a problem, a fight is hosted to end it. Like basic problems or fighting over quirks, Tristan said nonchalantly. Lulu laughs. Fine entertainment to watch, really, she said happily. Crystal rolled her eyes. Besides entertainment, it also a way to observe and see if you're worthy of even being here, or you're just here because you're not wanted anywhere else, Crystal said harshly. She kept walking, not just for us on top, but for the entire sect, she said. Then she opened the door to reveal the entire dormitory there waiting for them. Yeah, let's just say Izuku and the others were very shocked from the welcoming. Everyone from the dormitory, even the platoon, is here, Izuku said, sweating a bit. Aries laughs. If you really want to prove yourself, then put on a little show. After all, isn't that what you little heroes do, right? Putting on a show for the people. Aries looks at the group with a mocking smirk on his face. Tetsu frowns. Hey, what with that smirk? You think heroes are just for entertainment? Tetsu said, annoyed. Aries smirked wide. Oh? Is the little hero upset? If you want to change my mind, then you better put up a good fight. Aries had this mocking smirk as he challenged Tetsu. Tristan got between them. Enough, save it for your match, Quinn scoffed. Idiots. We already set up who will go against who. You're lucky you two are paired up together. Both Aries and Tetsu cheer as they also glare at each other. Crystal looks at Izuku. You're going last. I want to see what you're capable. Rather, you're quirkless. You're here for a reason, so I want to see what it is. I already assigned your matches, Crystal said, serious, but with a hint of sincerity. She really wants to see what I'm capable of, though I'm quirkless? Everyone here does. The atmosphere here is different than back at home, Izuku thought. Then he nodded. I'll try my best to you all, Izuku said. His eyes were filled with determination. Hatsum crossed her arms into a X. Hold up. Sorry, but I won't do any of these fighting matches. I'm a full supporter. I don't do any physical fighting or anything, just building robots or supporting tech. That's it, Hatsum said. Quinn smirks and analyzes her. Oh, so you're only a supporter, huh? A grin appeared on his face as a mischievous gleam could be seen in his eyes. He grabbed her shoulder. As the head technician, I have the perfect test for you. Let's see how far you can get for my test, full techie, he said as dragging Hatsum away. The group looked at each other a little concerned. Will she be okay with him being like that? Shinso asks. Aries laughs. So when Maddie is like that, Low chance better pray she'll come out the same, Aries said, a little serious. The first match starts with Tetsu Virus Aries, ready to face what a real true fighter looks like. Aries teases, Tetsu frowns, I'll show you how a hero fights. Tetsu said. They both got into a fighting position. First round is a 8-minute and quirkless battle. No quirks allowed till the second round. Ready, set, go. Both Tetsu and Aries start dashing at each other as fast as they can, getting enough speed and ready to throw a punch for an advantage. Tetsu threw a punch at Aries' face. Aries does the same as they're about to collide. Aries smirk as he moved to the side, dodging Tetsu and redirecting his to punch Tetsu chin instead of his face, uppercutting him. Tetsu spit out some saliva as he fell to the ground. Everyone, mainly Izuku and the others, stared in disbelief. Tetsu just got rocked in like 20 seconds. Aries smirked, geez, 20 seconds and you're already done. I thought hero training's supposed to give you better endurance. His tone was cocky. His hand was shaking, a tiny sweat can be seen on his face. Damn. I only used a little my strength, yet it felt like I hit a damn wall. My hand hurting like a bitch, Aries thought, then a grunt can be heard. He looked to see that Tetsu is getting back up from that punch, surprising him. You're getting up from that punch? Man, maybe you're stronger than you look. He launches at Tetsu with a huge grin on his face. Let's see how you actually are. The two were battling it out. Tetsu was holding up well against Aries' attacks, even giving out his own, but he was still overwhelmed by Aries. Aries may be holding back, but his strength and attacks were still powerful, though, due to Tetsu's sturdy body, Aries was feeling a little pain. The quirkless round stopped as the time limit had been reached. The second round started, now being able to use their quirks. Tetsu activated his quirk, turning his body into steel. Aries stare at him. So you can change into steel? Huh? Tetsu smirk. Yep. My quirk let me turn my whole body into completely steel, he said with proud. Aries smirks. So that what your quirk does, huh? What a great opportunity for me, isn't it? He laughs as flames emerge from his body. He launches at Tetsu. Thanks for telling what it does, dumbass. Aries starts attacking Tetsu furiously, using his flames to make more impacts on Tetsu's body. Mine's Infernal Warrior, but you're not going to know what it does. Aries said as he attacked. Tetsu was holding up well, but not only was the hits doing damage, but the heat, because steel is metal and heat don't mix well, obviously, especially if you're a part of that metal. You're holding up surprisingly, aren't you? Aries said, but his smirk was filtering. Damn, this is a little harder than I thought. His body is fucking steel, so I have to use more force, but I also have to dodge his punches. I would have finished this already, but I don't want to reveal all of my abilities to the new kids. Aries thought as he dodged a punch. Getting hit by solid steel without protection isn't very ideal or on my to-do list. They kept fighting till the bell rings, ending the match. They both catch their breath after the match. Dude, you're ridiculously strong and stupid endurance. I would say it's your quirk, but that'll be wrong, Aries said, tired. Sounds like he was acknowledging Tetsu. Tetsu nods, tired as well, thanks. And you're strong too, both with and without your quirk. I even learned something new from this. Tetsu and Aries smile at each other and shook hands. You're all right, Steel, Aries said. Izuku's eyes sparkled as he watched the match. That was amazing. I never seen a fire quirk that blazing or in control like that, Izuku said. Tristan nods. That's Aries for you. His fiery quirk is above the norm for all others. Tristan said. So his fire quirk is something special then, Shinso said. Lulu laughs. Yes. Aries' quirk is so cool, especially when he can. Tristan and Cassandra quickly cover her mouth from exposing unwanted information. Izuku, Monoma, Shinso, and Kendo raise their eyebrow in confusion, wondering what was all of that about. The next match was Tetsu and Cassandra. Since Hatsum is out being with Quinn, Tetsu was fine with it since his body isn't that hurt, and he's not that tired. Cassandra sighs. Guess I'm up next with Steel Boy over here, she stretches. Izuku at her from the balcony. She looks so relaxed after seeing the first match. I wonder what this match will be like, Izuku thought. The match, like the first, is quirkless, and it starts as the two battle it out, but Cassandra was more in control and focus of her attacks, unlike Aries, who was all over the place with his. She was also calculating her attacks while dodging Tetsu punches. It was like watching a proper match instead of fighting for survival. The match ended with Tetsu not being that hurt like he was with Aries. The second match starts now. Tetsu activates his quirk, Cassandra's eyes narrowed as she stretches. That steel quirk is a problem to handle without trying to not break bones. I didn't want to use them in front of newbies, but guess I have no choice, Cassandra huffs as she adjusts her gloves and taps her shoes on the ground and gets into a running position. She starts running towards Tetsu. Then suddenly her feet turn metal and small rockets come out of her soles, making her speed increase drastically as she runs around Tetsu, then kicks him in his sides. Her hands turn metal as well, and she started punching everywhere. Cassandra kept bargaining Tetsu with fast and strong attacks. It was hard for him to dodge or know where she's coming at since she's moving like damn Sonic the Hedgehog. She's moving so fast. Tetsu is having even dodging, Kendo said as Zuko's eyes sparkle. Her feet and hands turn into metal like Tetsu. Not only that, but she has rockets as well. Izuku was trying his best to resist his nerdy side and to whip out his notebook. Shinso's eyes narrowed. Her leg isn't straight, but up. She isn't fully kicking to not hurt him, Shinso thought. Lulu laughs. Cassie calculating every attack because of that guy's quirk. Every move calculated. She's so amazing, Lulu said, but her smile was filtered. Tristan noticed. The match ended with both Cassandra and Tetsu tired. Up next was Shinso versus Tristan. This should be interesting. Shinso got private fighting lessons from Ezrehead. He should have some leverage, Monoma said. Oh yeah, Mr. Aizawa did give Shinso private lessons for fighting, Izuku said. But doesn't that only work with that scarf of his? Kendo asks. I just hope that guy is gentler than those two I fought. I think that red-haired guy was trying to break my bones, Tetsu said, having some bandages on him. The match started and the two started battling it out. Shinso was holding out better than Tetsu, though he couldn't get a hit. He was putting up a good fight. Hey, that purple zombie is putting up a good fight against Tristan. I guess some of these little heroes can put up a fight, Ares said. Cassandra nods. I wonder what quirk this one have, she asks. The match went surprisingly fast when you're not watching a beatdown, but an actual fighting match. The second round started. Tristan was getting into fighting position, ready for whatever kind of quirk Shinso had. Little does he know. So what kind of quirk do you have? You don't look like the type to have a flashy quirk, I'm guessing, Tristan said, trying to get some sort of reaction from Shinso. You're right. I don't have a flashy quirk like Tetsu, but for this case, it's very useful, Shinso said. Mind showing me what it does? Tristan asks, still in the defense position. Shinso smirks a little. The name easily gives it away, so why bother telling, Shinso said. Tristan's eyes widen a bit. If that's the case, then he starts running at Shinso, then telling the name won't be a problem, right? Tristan said, ready to attack. Shinso smirks. Sure, if you don't mind stopping and not moving a muscle, Shinso orders. Tristan raises his eyebrow. What did you just? Tristan stops as his eyes turn dull and dead and his body stops. The cadets stare in confusion, wondering why Tristan suddenly stopped, but the four knew why and already knew that Shinso won immediately. Try. What are you doing? Kick his butt already. Lulu yelled out to Tristan, but he didn't respond. That's so strange. Why isn't he responding? She asked worriedly. It's not like him to just stand there like a dummy, Ares said. Crystal's eyes narrowed. No. Something's wrong here, she said. She looked closely at Tristan and noticed his dull blank stare, as if he's in a trance. Wait, trance? Crystal gasped as she realized a trance. That kid put him in a trance. She yelled out, surprising the cadets. Monoma smirking. Wow. So they finally realized, aren't they supposed to be the elite of the elite? In fact, I can't even believe that he got hypnosis so easily. Monoma was ranting like always till Kendo smacked some sense into him. Raise your hand and surrender the match, Shinso commanded. Tristan raised his hand. I surrender the match, trance, Tristan said. And just like that, the match ended. Shinso obviously snapped Tristan out of it. Tristan looked around confused. What just happened? He asked. I just won, that's all, Shinso simply said. The next round was Kendo versus Crystal. Guess I'm up against the leader. Wish me luck, Kendo said. Maybe she'll go a little easy on you. Besides that Ares guy, everyone else seems to go normal on us, Izuku said. The first match was good for 2 minutes before Kendo was kneeling on the ground in pain. Crystal stared down at her. That was a little underwhelming. I thought you'll last a little longer, Crystal said, as she helped up Kendo. Now exactly fighting one of you guys. I can see how the boys were having a hard time, Kendo groans, holding her side. The next match started as Kendo activated her quirk and her hands grew large. Crystal stared at her. So, is it only your hands that grow, or does your body as well? Crystal asked. It only works on my hands, but still effective for a fight and defense, Kendo said. Crystal nodded. Good to know. In that case, it'll be easy hitting a target like that. Crystal pulls out an item that transforms into a sword, while more like a sword still in its sheath. Kendo got into a defensive position. A sword? That's new. I never seen a quirk related to a sword before, but a sword? How am I supposed to handle that? Kendo thought. For safety reasons of quirk, I'm not allowed to take off the sheath. But still pray you'll survive, Crystal said as she got into position and ran at Kendo. She swung her sword. Kendo tried to block it with her hands, but trying to block a sword, even with its cover on, using your hands to block isn't very ideal. Let's just say it hurted like hell for Kendo. The fight went on with Kendo mostly dodging and Crystal creating distance to not get grabbed by Kendo. But what made it hard was the wind going against her as well. Every time Crystal swings, the wind would act like an extended slash. Watching above from the balcony, Quinn enters dragging Hatsum. Yo, Maddie, looks like you're back early. What? Did she fail your little test? Aries teased. Quinn rolled his eyes. No. She passed the test. She wasn't kidding when she said she loves machines, Quinn said. Then he scoffed. I would have been here soon, but I had some issues, he said. What issues did you encounter to come late? Cassandra asks. Quinn groans and rubs his temples. That girl wouldn't leave my damn lab. The moment she saw my equipment, she freaked the hell out for 5 minutes, then went on and on about her babies, then couldn't get her to leave for 20 minutes. Quinn ranted. Wow, that was a lot coming from you, Tristan said. Quinn groans, tired of this shit. The match ended with Crystal panting a bit, and Kendo tired as hell on the floor with few bruises. Crystal, look at Kendo. It's been a while since I had this much trouble at a match besides Aries and Lulu. You might be a worthy enough, Crystal said deadpan, but maybe some acknowledgement underneath. Kendo smiled a little. Thanks for the acknowledgement, I guess. You were a good opponent too, Kendo said. Crystal look away a bit, her face look a little red. The second to last was Monoma versus Crystal. Wait a minute. Why am I going up against her? Monoma asks. She hates people like you, so she replaces Quinn to be your opponent, Tristan bluntly said. Oh, come on. I mean, why would she hate me? What did I ever do for her to dislike me? Monoma asks. Everyone just stares at him silently with "Are you serious?" face, which annoyed Monoma. Why aren't you backing me up? He asks. He sighs and thought for a moment before walking up to Cassandra, who was distracted. He tapped her arm. Which way? Is it to the arena? He asked. Cassandra pointed to the left staircase. Thanks. Monoma walked down the stairs and looked at his hand. He smirked. It's better to have a defensive quirk than an offense quirk. Aries' quirk would be better, but that girl looks like she wouldn't have a problem getting close to a guy cover and fire, plus his quirk looked dangerous and unstable. I don't know how to use, and I don't want to risk any casualties, he said as he looked at his hand. Speed and defense work great together, so sorry, bud. But that girl's quirk is more helpful against Crystal, he said smug. He clenched his hand and sweated a bit. Monoma made it to the arena where Crystal stared coldly at him. I've been waiting to get my hands on you. Now I have an excuse to actually do it, she said coldly. Monoma sweated a bit. Geez, you just met me. Are you sure you really want my throat after a couple minutes of talking? He said. Up from the balcony. He's so dead. I don't think he'll last a second, Kendo said. Oh, don't be like that, Kendo. I saw him touching that girl Cassandra arm, which means he for sure prepared to take that Crystal on. Tetsu said, cheering for Monoma. But Shinso eyes didn't look all that hopeful. If he's so prepared, then why does he have his I'm fucked face, right? Shinso asked. The first match started, and it was a disappointment. Like man lasted 10 seconds, and that was from getting beaten. Everyone watched just dumbfounded at what they just watched. Even Crystal's stoic face cracked, and she was fighting. She stared at the beaten on the ground. Monoma, what the hell was that? That lasted for 10 seconds. She walked up to him and picked him up by the collar. At least the others put up some fight. You call yourself a hero, and you got beaten within a few moves. Wake up, Crystal yells as she shakes him. Monoma, regaining somewhat consciousness, grabs her wrist, who knew physical activity was very physical. Haha, Monoma weakly laughs. Crystal rolled her eyes and threw him. Oh Lord, start the second match already. She commanded, then pull out her sword. Your quirk better make up for your lacking body, she said annoyed. She got into a fighting position ready to attack if she could, but she didn't. Something fell off. She can feel it. Wait, no she doesn't. What's going on? I'm holding my sword, but yet she sweated a bit. Her squad was watching and noticed something off as well. What's going on? She should have attacked by now, Aries said. Tristan and Cassandra eyes narrowed. No. Something's wrong. The air around her feels off, Tristan said. Why isn't she using her quirk? Cassandra asks. Gone, Lulu said. The three look at her. Her quirk, it's gone, Lulu said seriously. Monoma stands up and laughs. What's wrong? Don't want to use your quirk? Monoma tease. Crystal sweated a bit. Don't worry. I'll make good use of it. Monoma smirks. Crystal grit her teeth. What does he mean? Did he do something to my quirk? No. Don't panic. Let's see if it temporary frozen, she thought. Then she ran up to Monoma readying to swing her sword. Aqua River Strike. First form Ripple River. She yells and swings her sword at Monoma, and to her surprise, not only does she not feel her quirk again, but Monoma looks completely normal. She still strikes Monoma hard, but not in the effort she wanted. Due to her confusion distracting her, Monoma grabs her sword and manages to steal it out of her grasp. And in a blink of an eye, he strikes Crystal with her own sword multiple times with precise and accurate strikes, stunning / hurting her. Everyone's jaws dropped, and their eyes popped out of their heads. The Crystal Winter that's the strongest in their dorm, and their platoon leader just counterattacked with her own sword. Crystal fell to the ground injured. What a powerful quirk you got. Thanks for letting me borrow it, Monoma said, smirking. What the hell just happened? How did the blonde shrimp manage to injure Crystal? Ares yelled, and managed to do it with her own sword. Those strikes looked perfect. How is that possible? Cassandra asks. It's due to his quirk, Shinso said. The squad turned to him. It's true. His quirk copy lets him copy other people's quirks within contact, Kendo said. Yeah. And the original owner can't use their quirk anymore, Tetsu said. Ares' jaw dropped. Copying people's quirk when touching them. When the hell did he do that? He asks. Quinn pushes up his glasses when she grabbed him. The moment she did, he touched her wrist. The perfect moment for him to copy her quirk, Quinn said seriously. Meanwhile, Crystal miraculously stands up though her body was aching in pain. Monoma notices and swings the sword to feel it unknowingly, making the sheath fall off. Oh, so you managed to stand up after those attacks, huh? Well, let's see if you can withstand anymore. He got into position when you were attacking Kendo with the air. I think you did it like this. He swung the sword, and the wind slashes can be seen heading towards Crystal. She tried her best to dodge them with her hurt body, though some of the slashes faintly hit her, making cuts on her body. The slashes also hit the walls in the back, causing some damage to the arena. The cadets watching couldn't believe what they're seeing. The most powerful student in the dormitory is having a hard time from a rookie transfer. Monoma laughs and got his creepy face on. Wow. Suddenly the elite Crystal isn't so elite after all. I mean, imagine getting attacked and having to dodge by your own quirk. Personally, I could never relate. Monoma was cut off by him spitting out his own blood, then falling to the ground. Everyone stared dumbfounded, confused, and bewildered at what the hell just happened, wondering what the hell just happened. Crystal tired coldly stare at the unconscious Monoma. So that's what the doctor meant when he said my body should be conditioned to handle my quirk. Thanks for being an example, Chatterbox. The match ended with Monoma getting hauled off to the infirmary. Crystal refusing to go, just have some bandages and band-aids on her body. Alright, final match, the one you all been waiting for. The Saint's little brother match. She said. The cadets roar and cheer, very excited to see Izuku's match, which was making him feel a little nervous. He never saw anybody get this excitement from him, even when he was in Class 1A. Izuku stepped up into the arena where he saw the excitement on all of the cadets' faces. He looked up to Crystal on the balcony. I still don't know who my opponent is. Is it you or one of the others again? Izuku asks. This match is a little because instead of fighting one Crimson Phoenix, Crystal said, then snap her fingers. Tristan, Cassandra, and Quinn jumped down into the arena. Surprising everyone, you're going to be fighting 3 and the match will be irregular. Quirk or no quirk allowed, Crystal said. The cadets roar in excitement for the match, while Izuku was bewildered at the fact that he have to fight 3 people. What?